Hello, hello, welcome in. Do my check. Checkity check, check. Should be good, hopefully. Wink, wink. Alright. My water. Perfect. Alright. We're continuing with Ace Attorney, Case 5. The incident 12 years ago. Surely it won't be relevant at all. That's a lie. But this isn't the finale, so it doesn't matter. I guess we better get right into it, huh? Involving the president. We'll have to see how it relates to the current case. The SS5 incident. The SS5 incident. Ooh, right. The sedative, the 3 Z's. The bouquet. Surely that has to be a lie, right? Or, we'll find out if that's a lie, I guess. It was a PA train. Oh, I can't believe I forgot that. Damn. That's how Paul Halik's related to this. Okay. I wonder if the combination actually is 603. Alright. Yes, SS5 incident. Happened on a winter's day 12 years ago. February 10th to be precise. This is what? April? We're currently in April. Your police received a call directly from a kidnapper. I've got the president of Gen Fa. Ah. So he was kidnapped? Yes. SS5 is the official designation of the president's kidnapping case. The kidnapper wanted $100 million. $100 million? How much money even is that? Way too much. More than you can imagine, it seems. The last person to see the president that night was my father. They were together at the embassy of Gen Fa until midnight on the 10th. Okay. And nobody knows what happened with the president after that until he was kidnapped. Our government did everything they could to scrape together the money. They were desperate to save him. Long G says. And in the end, they succeeded. The money was handed over, and the president came home safely. Did he really, though? My suspicions are raised. So President Wang was head honcho, even back then. Oh, wow. Go, Mr. President. Heh. The length of time he stayed in power isn't even close to the most impressive thing about him. Uh-huh. How old is the dude? Alright. Alright. 46. Agent Lang was clearly very fond of President Wang. I assume the kidnapping was thoroughly investigated. It was, but the investigation was top secret, as was the trial. The trial, so a suspect was arrested. Yeah, not long after that, our friend Fifi Lagarde. What? Is that why you visited the prison? It is. I was put on what you might call extended leave from Interpol. So I thought I'd use the time to look into what happened 12 years ago. And I wanted to see who I was dealing with. She was found not guilty then, wasn't she? Yeah. My father was in charge of the president's security at the time. But they held him responsible for the kidnapping and stripped him of his duties as presidential bodyguard. Looks like we're gonna have a double jeopardy thing going on. He stayed on the force, though, and he worked the case alone until eventually he found a suspect, Lagarde. And if he thought she did it, there's no way she was innocent.
You kind of jumped to conclusions, Lang. And I'm assuming that means your father also jumped to conclusions, but
they declared her not guilty, and the case went cold. My father couldn't take it. He was broken mentally and physically. Finally, he quit the force altogether.
So he had solid ground to suspect Warden Lagarde.
He must have had evidence. He wouldn't have charged her otherwise.
I hope so.
But I've never been able to see the materials from the case. I'm sorry, but that's all I know.
That's it? What do we do, Mr. Edgeworth? This is useful information, but I don't think is enough for Little Thief to recreate the scene. No, is there really nothing we can do? Huh? Whoa, you look like you could use a hand.
Who's this now?
I wanted it. Oh, I guess it could have been Francisca's voice, huh? Francisca. And Mr. Fender. Oh, we finally wrapped things up over at the courthouse. And we thought we'd see what you kids were up to. Here. What's this? It says SS5 Incident Investigation Report, sir. Incident in which President Wang was kidnapped as the sole witness, and the sole witness was murdered. Ah. And Fifi Lagarde mentioned an incident from 12 years ago earlier. I couldn't help but wonder. So, I decided to look into it. And this is what Interpol provided. Why does she... Look, I love Francisca, but why does she get access, no questions asked? Nice work, Francisca. And also, like... I mean, different routes, but Francisca's been, like... either helping us, or, I've been under her as her assistant, solving cases for her. So why am I under fire? Don't get the wrong idea, Miles Edgeworth. You're no longer a prosecutor. I didn't do this for you. I did it so that a colleague could solve his father's final case.
I owe you, sis. But everything related to the SS5 incident was supposed to be top secret.
Yes, but that classification was applied by the prosecutor in charge of the case, Excelsius Winter. Ah, he was the prosecutor in charge.
Him again.
Don't worry. Due to the outcome of this morning's case, he's been stripped of his authority. An outcome that was in no small part thanks to the efforts of his own son. I love that moment. That moment was so good. Eustace. So in defeating his father, he made the old case file available to us. It sounds like we owe him. Is that how the only way? Well, I guess he's involved. Excelsius and Fifi Lagarde are involved in the 12 years ago, so they're involved in, at least partially, in the murder. But is that the only reason why we went to through all that trouble of like the whole beginning arc of this? Prosecutor Eustace Winter is busy wrapping things up after the conclusion of the Lagarde trial. But he asked me to give you a message. Leave Dad and Lagarde to me. You focus on your case over there. Oh, he's even starting to sound like a prosecutor. Yep. Fucking great character development for Eustace. Indeed, he is. All right. And now that we have the case file, I can recreate the scene no problem. Excellent. Let's get started. Let me look at it real quick. Occurred February 10th. 10th. President Jen Fall kidnapped, ransomed, presence at embassy until midnight confirmed by Da Long Lei. suspect, Fifi Lagarde. That didn't help us. According to the file, the incident occurred exactly where the plaza is now. Then what are we waiting for? With me, everyone. Aha. Here we go. Alright, Kay, if you could set Mr. Thief in motion. Sure, looks like there's more than enough here to work with. Where do you want to start? Good question. Let's see. It seems there was an eyewitness. A freelance journalist by the name of Alf Aldone. Aha. This is a portrait that's like one of the developers or whatever, typically, right? But I don't know. I have no idea. But apparently, he was killed by the culprit for witnessing the murder, the kidnapping.
So this is what he saw, where he saw it all happen, huh?
Here, as in the big building. No, construction of the big building only began a year ago. Ah. Before that, it had been a piece of abandoned property. And before that...
Now we're getting to the stuff I know. 12 years ago, this place would have been... the Happy Family Home.
An orphanage, huh? Ooh, okay. The same gate and clock. Why an orphanage? Why an orphanage? Huh. Why an orphanage? There's the planters, left and right are the planters. Like, for retired people.
No, it was a place for children without parents. An orphanage, in other words.
The president was kidnapped from an orphanage.
Yeah, and the place was run by Fifi Lagarde.
That is in line.
She called it her happy little home.
That is in line with her character. So it makes sense that she's there. Yeah. Huh. As the proprietor of the institution, I suppose it's understandable that she came under suspicion. President Wang, Excelsius winner, and Warden Lagarde. Surely the SS5 incident must be related to our current case. In some ways. Okay, could you enter the data relating to the murder of Mr. Aldone? It seems sensible to assume that he was killed by whoever kidnapped the president. I will say we're conveniently missing somebody from case 3, the Samson Tangaroa, Carmelo Gusto, mainly, I guess. Case. Or Gregory Edgeworth, too. We solved the kidnapping. Nice. Alright, we're counting on you. Not a lot of Little Thief, but now we're using it, huh? Ba-da-bow, ba-da-bow. Alright. Well, here we go. Ba-da-bow.
Whoa! What the heck is this?
When did I grow to become so blasé towards people's reactions to Mr. Thief? Blasé is a good word too. What's the definition? Relaxed on probably a blasé definition. Unimpressed or indifferent. That's what context is providing to me, but good to know. What we're seeing here is the front yard of the orphanage as it was 12 years ago. Sorry. At least as far as the police reports describe it. Yeah, this is how it looked when they started investigating at 7 a.m. in the morning after the murder. And it seems to have been snowing. I don't think they're usually this detailed, but it's fine.
Yeah, from what I heard, the footprints wound up being pretty important evidence. The snow fell in the daytime the previous day.
In other words, before the incident occurred. Okay. Meaning that none of the relevant footprints would have been obscured by new snow. I think we'll need to pay these footprints some special attention. Okay. Orphanage. I guess we'll plop a save, huh? There's a whole bunch of people. Person entering here, which is probably him. They interact. Another person entered and one person left. Okay. Then the gardens, and I'm sure the flowers will be important. Is she involved then? Why? Maybe. She has association with the flowers, but I mean, it's flowers, you know? So.
How dare you, Scruffy? Don't you dare tell anyone. I'll just deny it anyway.
Mr. Edgeworth, you gotta help me out here, sir. Oh, what's the matter, detective? It's about the SS5 incident, sir. What else? I know Chairman Winter isn't in charge anymore and all, but the top secret file being available to us so quickly after his removal, something seems off, sir. So that got me to thinking, and I put in a call, and they told me that, well, that Miss Von Karma went to some pretty extreme lengths to get that file released, sir.
Curse you, Scruffy. I deny everything.
That's why we love Francisca. It sounds like you went through a lot of trouble for our sake, Francisca. Don't worry, your efforts won't be for nothing. I'll solve this case, you'll see. Hell yeah. That's why we love Francisca. She's the tsundere.
Boy, howdy. Is this ever a scoop? Whole world's gone green. Must be an outbreak or something. I'm seeing green trees, green people, green clothes, everything.
Ooh. Yep. I agree. The more green, the better.
They must be real sick if even their clothes are green. Looks like we wound up slap bang in the middle of the right dang place at the right dang time. Sure did, Chief. I don't think we're going to get a word in edgewise here, Mr. Edgeworth. And I don't think we want to. Why not? The more green, the better. As I always say.
It's a porch swing with an elephant face on it. No, it was a Zaya. That was brought in from outside. And behind it is what appears to be a motor. You know what every dedicated swing fiend always wonders, don't you? If they could swing all the way over the top and back again. Maybe a motorized swing could finally make that dream come true. Wouldn't that be a little dangerous? Dangerous and fun. And what dream isn't? Huh? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Very true. True, but hardly applicable in this case. Applicable, bro? Damn. Can I help you, Mr. Edgeworth? Sean, Ben. I cannot thank you all enough for returning Sean safely to me. I can hardly bear to imagine what I would have felt if he had not come home. Hey, old guy. Can't you see you're upsetting her? That was not my intent at all. Look at our little knight in shining armor, defending his mom's honor. Shut up. I wouldn't have to if you didn't keep... That's enough, Sean. Mr. Edgeworth, if you'll allow me, I would like to apologize again. I feel in my duty as a servant of justice. I will not ask you to forgive me. I only ask you to understand that I... Judge Gavelle, I don't presume to know the goddess of justice as well as you do. But she was a mother, was she not? Of other goddesses and gods and goddesses. She was. Fair judgment requires personal circumstances to be taken into account. I'm sure she would understand. Ah, perhaps your beloved goddess is more merciful than you give her credit for. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. What are they even talking about? Don't worry, Sean. I don't have a clue either. Aha. Okay. But I'm never gonna even, like, address if he's adopted or whatever, but I guess it doesn't matter. So, things are finally settling down after the Ward and the Guard's trial. It seems so. Sentencing is still to come, but the guilty verdict should stand. And do not worry, Excelsius Winter's connection to the case will be thoroughly investigated. Have faith, Mr. Edgeworth. Eustace is a changed man. I fully believe that. Indeed, he simply has some growing to do. But then, don't we all? Kay included. Ah, huh? Kind of feel for him now. I said some pretty mean things, but I'll make it up to him next time I get the chance. I'm sure that chance will come, but for now. Indeed, we need to focus on the case at hand. Oh, that is Verity again. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Thank you. What do you want? Your kidnapping. Sean, I wonder if you could tell us a little more about the circumstances surrounding your kidnapping. Yeah, dude, Sean has a good theme, actually. They took you when you went to the garbage disposal area, right? But what were you doing there? It's alright. You don't have to talk to him. Talk for him. He can just ask me himself. Hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? I think he's starting to warm up to you. I went to the garbage disposal to throw away the flowers that were on that body. It wasn't far. I figured they'd be less likely to find them there than if I threw them in a garbage can. I tried to get in there last night, too, but it was locked. So you had to come back today and try again. We'll run with it. It's a stretch, but we'll run with it. Yeah. But when I was there, somebody came up behind me and put something over my face. Oh yeah, snoozing is easy threezy with 3 Z's. That's a good catchphrase. The fact that she was drugged with it too doesn't seem to bother her. I guess it is a catchy name. Whoever it was pretty strong, but I never saw their face. I see, thank you. That's very helpful. We know they're decently strong. I mean, compared to a kid, so an adult. But we don't know who exact. What can you tell us about the time between when you were kidnapped and when you were found? Not a whole lot, I bet. Snoozing in is easy. 3Z with 3 Z's. I remember waking up feeling cold. It was somewhere big and empty and dark. There were cardboard boxes with some other language written on them. I figured it must be a storeroom. But it was actually a giant refrigerator. Businesses use them to keep stuff chilled. And that's where Kay and Detective Gumshoe found them. They really saved the day there. Guess the cooler must have been on until just before I was brought there. Like I said, it was pretty cold. Anyway, they didn't take my phone for some reason, so I used that to call for help. I see. Well, we're all very glad that you found your way back to us safely. That means they intended for him to be returned. Say it like you mean it. Why don't you? He's not the most gracious child I've met. Reminds me of a certain someone else, huh? Certain someone else. Child? I mean, kinda Kay, but not really. I don't know. Sure. Oh. And there are burn marks on the pillar here. Ah. The report says there was a fire sometime on the evening of the incident. A fire? Let's see. Where was it again? Ah! Yeah, one of the orphans set a fire with some kerosene. Some sort of prank, probably. They sound like a lively bunch. Possibly too lively. It seems their antics spoiled our chances of finding any footprints near the entrance of the building. Ah, okay. And that is why the path is burned. Hey, the St. Arch. We've seen it somewhere before, right? Indeed, we have. It's the same one that stands over the entrance of the big building today. But this is supposed to be how things looked 12 years ago. Was it there the whole time? It seems the architects worked the old archway into the structure of the new building. The future is simply the past reheated. I think I heard that somewhere. And for once it seems you might have remembered it correctly. But 12 years ago is a long time to reheat something for that. If it was your lunch, it'd be ruined. You can slow cook some things. And there's, what? Booze, you know, alcohol, all kind of alcohols that go for 12 years, cheeses. I'm sure there's some, like, dried aged fucking jerky or whatever, some meats. And although meats are kind of a stretch, an igloo shaped like a bear. Meats are like more like 1 to 2 years, I think. The perfect balance of cuteness and scariness. I guess you could call it a big glue. It is quite large. You could probably fit as many as 3 people inside. Yeah, and they could live in there for 3 whole years. 3 years. And what about the summer when the big igloo melt? Again and again. Say it again, Miss Redruth, please, one more time. I also... Wouldn't the igloo melt? You're no fun. She got him to say big glue. Let's go. That's cute. Offender. Oh, looks chillier than your chilliest look. Look out here, Azrren. Someone might have to warm me up with a hug. Could you maybe take this a little more seriously, Mr. Fender? For a UK Meister? Anything. I can't believe this whole sorry tale began right here. Kinda crazy, right? Yes, it is a little. What were Fiefs and the chairman up to, though? Where were they going with all this? Where, indeed? I'd very much like to know that myself. And I'd very much like to know where when you two are going to admit how much you love your Uncle Eddie. Not anytime soon. Come on, Mr. Fender. You're not taking this seriously at all. You did for about 3 sentences, which is something of a record. Now you tell me, game. I could have been keeping track. I think there was his rage during the case 3 though, maybe. A tortoise and a hare, inspired by the children's story, no doubt. The tortoise races a speedy hare and wins. All right, time for K Fard, a pop-up pop quiz. Why did the hare lose the race? I'll give you 3 options. I don't need 3 options, K. He lost because he stopped to rest and fell asleep. Number 1, the hare's favorite running shoes were stolen by the Yatagarasu. Number 2, the tortoise trained with the Yatagarasu and got so fast that he won. Number 3, the real winner was the Yatagarasu, who plotted a surprise secret victory. Those are my only 3 options. Too hard. Alright, I'll give you a hint. The option you're looking for starts with the th. Oh well, that definitely narrows it down. I mean, let's see. It's 3. I thought it was option 3 too, but you know, it's fine. Shifu, I know it's rude for me to ask, but can we count on off for old time's sake? Just once, I'm begging you. They cared about
For old time's sake, seems a little sentimental, but fine. Count off. 1.
It's just him. Sorry, Shifu. It's just me here, sir. It just doesn't feel the same on my own. It's kind of lonely, sir.
Ha! Fool! It shouldn't matter if there's one of you or 100. You may be on your own here right now, but the pack is always with you. So quit whining about being lonely and howl like you mean it. Count off. 1. 1. 1.
What? Oh. Is he crying? Hell yeah. That was good, actually. Alright, Lang, what do you have for us?
Long G says, 3 planters covered with snow.
Is anything the matter, Agent Lang?
Yeah, something's not right. I wasn't able to look at the case file until now.
Indeed, you have Chairman Winter to thank for that, it seems.
Yeah, but what's weird is, I've seen this scene somewhere before.
What?
But where? I keep thinking I've got it, but then it's gone.
I don't think we've seen... He appears to be lost in his efforts to remember. Perhaps I should leave him alone for now. Uh-huh.
President Wang changed after the SS5 incident.
That, I have a feeling, will be kind of important.
I guess he felt his trust had been betrayed. I can understand that. But to cut ties with my family completely, after how close we've been for all those years. My father was desperate to make amends, to just get one chance to say sorry. But no matter how many times he tried to get an audience with the president, he couldn't. He couldn't even convince them to take a letter to him.
I think there's more than he just changed.
One time he came home covered in bruises. Who knows from where? A bodyguard, maybe? Sorry, there's no point in making you sit through old stories that won't change anything anyway.
I'll be the judge of that.
Heh, as warm and fuzzy as ever, I see. Not that I expected any different.
Hell yeah.
That case ruined my father, and my family too. The people who failed to keep the president safe, that's all we were after. That's all we were after that. He threw himself heart and soul into that investigation.
He became obsessed, in other words. Hardly the best state of mind in which to undertake an inquiry.
Wow, you really don't pull your punches, huh?
Not at all.
Look, just don't go thinking I'm only doing this because of my dad, okay? That investigation was solid. His work was meticulous, and it was accurate. It always was. He interviewed every single one of those kids, and he made sure they told him everything.
Ah, why don't you act like that? I wonder if he learned anything of value. Uh-huh. Interviewing the kids, huh? Alright, crime scene time. These footprints go towards the body and come back. According to the case file, they're thought to be the killers. They're about a size 9. Pretty average, in other words. Seems the police weren't able to track down who the murderer was from them, though. Okay. These footprints stopped by the body. I guess that means they belong to Mr. Aldone, right? Also looks like a photographer, so... His feet were pretty big. What's that? About a size 12. Uh-huh. According to the file, they were the same size as his shoes. It's a match. Okay. What do the planters have to do? These planters. Is it supposed to be some symbolic thing, or are we gonna have to find the thing hidden in the planter? According to the case file, the yard stretches around 3 sides of the orphanage. Not Miss Hearts. Right Right in front of the planter where we left it. Right in front of the planter. Which one though? Okay. 3 sides of the orphanage. And there were 3 planters on each side. Yes, planters arranged in a very particular pattern. One we've seen somewhere before. You've seen it before? Fuck, where? I don't know where you've seen it before. I don't remember. Oh, I don't remember. I don't think we have evidence pertaining to it. Seen before, huh? Shame there aren't many flowers, but I guess it was the middle of winter. Yes. One we've seen somewhere before. Damn it, I don't remember. But look at that one. It's bright yellow. Weird. How come there's only one? Wait, looks like somebody dropped it. That's a lion lily. If I'm not very much mistaken, a rare member of the family Liliaceae. A lion lily, you say? Wait, didn't Judge Gavel give President Wang some lion lilies? What is the same flower doing here? This can't be a coincidence, can it? Unlikely. I believe this particular cultivar is from Asia, where it's said to symbolize the bond between parent and child. Ah! You know what? Huh. Sean's from this orphanage, probably, then? And 12 years ago is when, what's her name? Verity Gavel. Gavel adopted him. She's involved with the president somehow? I don't know how. Okay. Maybe a piece, but vaguely connected, if anything. Wasn't aware you were so knowledgeable when it came to flowers, Francisca. Huh. What I just told you is common knowledge. Perhaps you just need to read a little more. Damn. Get called out. Alright. Body. Alf Aldone. The man who witnessed the president's kidnapping. Probably took a picture of it. But what exactly did he see? I based this part of the recreation on one of the crime scene photos. Aha. It seems he suffered a blow to the back of the head. Yeah, from that brick right over there. They figured it must have been taken from here in the yard. It looks like the blood flowed from the head wound and spread over the surrounding area. Uh-huh. Here, a gift for you. This is Mr. Aldone's autopsy report. Ah. Struck on the head, died around 1 a.m. on February 10th. Okay. So February 9th might be important. Or, you know, the crossover day might come up a thing. Anyway, the flower first. Somebody dropped a yellow flower here, huh? It's a lion lily, right? According to Francisca, yes. They're originally from Asia, if I recall correctly. Yep, and she said it symbolizes the pond being painted or tiled. Right? It was the bond between parent and child, okay? Nothing about the footprints. This was the brick used in the murder. Uh-huh. One of the planters? There's stuff made of bricks all around here. All around the yard here. They probably took it from somewhere nearby, huh? This cell phone must have belonged to the victim. Damn. Still have cell phones 12 years ago? You're right. Yeah. It says here in the film that Mr. Aldone made a call while he was watching the kidnapping. A call to whom? His girlfriend.
Oh, his girlfriend. Seems he called her when he saw that the president was there.
Was it Lang talking that whole time? No, okay.
But she didn't pick up, so he left a message. That's in there.
Here, that's in here too, if you want to hear it. Please. Hey, Rosie, it's me. I guess you're asleep already. Anyway, I'm here at the orphanage. Something weird's going on. President Wang is here for some reason, and there's another. Damn it, lights out, so I can't quite see, but it looks like he was being kidnapped? Anyway, probably nothing, but I thought... What were those sounds at the end?
He must have been attacked while he was still on the phone.
Agent Lang, can I ask you something? Mr. Aldone's girlfriend, what was her name? Rosie Ringer?
Ringer. Rosie Ringer.
Got it in one!
At least that's what I heard.
What? Just as I had thought. Wait, you mean her revenge for what happened 12 years ago? All Miss Ringer was left with were the memories and personal effects of her lover. And so, seeking revenge on Chairman Winter, she made her appearance at the auction. So she really was out for revenge on Chairman Winter, wasn't she? Perhaps it was for his suppression of the kidnapping. Or perhaps it was because she thought he was one of the kidnappers. Okay. Good to know. The camera. So the victim was carrying a camera. Oh yeah, according to the file, they recovered a picture. Yeah. Here we are. I don't like that. I do not like that. We can't quite tell, but that is Gregory Edgeworth's style, but he's dead, right? So his successor, maybe, dude, why? I might have to rescind my rescind on Fender being suspicious as fuck. God damn it. And then also the president, the snowman. It's the president, right? And somebody's pointing a gun at him. This must be what Mr. Aldone witnessed. So the person in the trench coat is the kidnapper. Yes, I imagine they were trying to conceal their identity. But if Agent Lang's father theory was correct, the person wearing the trench coat is Warden Lagarde. Possible, but it feels male. A male figure. How come they only found the one photo? He probably wasn't able to take any more before he was attacked. There are multiple people involved in this, I think. And then the body. Is that a bullet hole in the back? Alf Aldone, freelance journalist. Killed after witnessing the kidnapping of President Wang. Even in the recreation, it's pretty gruesome, right? It's even worse. In the actual crime scene photos, there's a lot of blood. Conveniently burned off. His hand's not scorched though, so. It seems mostly to have come from the back of his head. As you can see, this area is completely caked. Yeah, the autopsy report says that's where he was hit with the brick. Indeed, I imagine his attacker must have snuck up on him from behind. It looks as if he's clutching something in his right hand. Oh yeah, they mentioned that in the file somewhere. Let's see. According to this, it was a button. A button, torn from the attacker's clothing, perhaps. Uh-huh. It isn't this hat, it's the other hat, right? A button, though. Oh. Deceased. Opposing ringer enters too. The shoes don't fit him. Footprints were a key part of this case. There was information about the shoes in the file, correct? Yeah, well, let's see. They're size 12, feet were clean, no corns, no athlete's foot. Beige socks, thermal underwear in the same color. He dressed old guy style. Brighter socks would have really made the outfit pop. Why not live a little? And that's it for the fashion rundown. Shout out to whoever left these amazingly helpful comments. And here I thought it was going to be a plain old investigation report. Huh. The shoes don't fit him, though. Is there anything else? Huh. They didn't mention the shoes not fitting him, so that'll be something that comes up. It's not, his foot's not flush with the back of the heel. It's like quite significantly less. There's still more though, huh? I don't believe. The blood pool, okay. Fresh blood, and plenty of it. According to the autopsy report, he died from loss of blood due to the blow to the back of his head. Yes, and that blood spread out over the entire area. I doubt anyone could have bled that much and survived. Not the entire area. Anyway, this certainly seems to confirm that what the autopsy report suggests. Uh-huh. Is that it? Time to logic? Time to logic. Ha! Lancer's brick? I would go with this. No! That doesn't seem to add up. I'd better think again. I wouldn't say that's related personally, but it could be. I don't think I left anything. Can't go there. I got that. Talk to Fender. Talk to that. Is there a missing brick, actually? Ooh. Snowman is vital, actually. There it is. This looks like a snowman, but it's mostly melted. Well, it's no wonder he's all slushy. He's wearing a hat and a scarf. He must have been roasty toasty. Aw, and look at his cute little button eye just lying there. He probably would have frozen back up again at dawn, you know? That's when it's usually the coldest. Uh-huh. Actually, okay, that's where our button eye is from. From him. That means he was close enough to grab it and he moved. I don't think that would have helped much, Mr. Edgeworth. If a melted snowman froze again, it wouldn't turn back into a snowman. It would turn into an Iceman. What? Is what I bet you wanted to say. Oh. Is what I bet you wanted me to say, isn't it? Well, too bad. Alright, fine. No, not. I can't connect the dots on the button though? Investigated everything, I think. I don't know where the brick is from yet. Unless it's this? No. Not the planters. Huh. I guess we just plop a save and try the logics, huh? Although I don't think the logics worked at this point in time. But maybe, huh? Yeah. I could talk to her too. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Didn't notice anything. I can't believe there used to be an orphanage right here in the open on this spot. And that Warden Lagarde is in charge. And that the SS-5 incident took place there 12 years ago. Yeah, they kind of kidnapped the president of Gen 5. That's crazy. And they killed Mr. Aldone, the only witness that we know of anyway. And then kept all the details secret for all those years. The more I think about it, the more you smell something fishy going on. Yeah, me too. What's even weirder is the people involved. I think we know all of them, don't we? Lagarde, Winter, President Wang. Oh. When I think back over all the cases we've been involved with recently, it's true. I can't help but think they're all connected. They said the line, they're all connected. Then we have to dig into this latest mystery and snatch the treasure of truth from inside it. I'll keep updating the simulation as we find new stuff, sir. And just be sure to look over everything super carefully, okay? Little Thief. So we're calling on Mr. Thief's help once again. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, it's Little Thief. And no matter how useful Little Thief is, if the information we plug in is wrong, the simulation will be wrong too. If you spot anything that doesn't make sense, try comparing it with the evidence we collected. And we can examine the interact with everything in the simulation. Alright. Right. Just walk up to it and like you usually do. Also, we don't have enough to go on right now, but if you can gather enough intel, I can even create a simulation of a different span of time. Alright, I'm counting on you. Actually, can I deduce anything? There's nothing more to be found here. Okay. I guess we could try, like, the bloody button or in the... Let's present her the bloody button. Agent Lang is here to solve it, Mr. Edgeworth. Just the facts will suffice. Hey, I'm a great thief. I totally sympathize. If you gotta grab something, you should just go ahead and grab it, even if it's worthless. My little treasure, huh? Who do I talk to, though? Or, well, I guess we do this now, huh? But, I mean... Planters and 3 footprints? I don't think so, but we can try. Fine. So that's what our monstrous hoofprints really were. Wait, what? Call the arrangement of the prints. Now compare it to that of the planters. Really? Ah! I see it now. I see it. That's a vague as fuck, though. Wow. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Whoa. That's right. I believe the footprints are located exactly where our planters once stood. So Chairman Winter was digging around the front of them. He was. And why might he have been doing that? Okay. That makes sense. I was like, nothing of the hoofs felt similar besides that sharp edge. But I feel like it's strange. I mean, makes sense, I guess. Alright. We have the piece of evidence in our possession that answers exactly that question. Report tonight. Sure, it's still right in front of the planter where we left it.
Take that!
Recall, if you will, the report that Warden Lagarde sent to Chairman Winter. In it, she mentioned something that had been laid to rest in front of a planter. You think she was telling him where to dig? Wait, but why 3 holes? Because the report didn't specify which of the planters she meant. Oh, I get it. So he wasn't sure which one it was. Good thing there's 9 planters, and also, if you bury something and try and find it later, you're probably gonna miss it. Which means he had to try and dig up all 3. I imagine so, yes. Poor Chairman Winter. But why go to all that trouble? What was he looking for? I think that's about all we can learn from the scene for now. Alright, how about I try to show you how things looked earlier on that night? That would be very much appreciated. Could you take us back to the moment at which the victim witnessed the kidnapping? Sure. I'll use the photograph he took. Here goes nothing. There we go. See? Somebody behind him. There had to be another person, is what I was thinking. Wait. That's assuming he was the one that moved there. There's Mr. Aldone in the middle of the planters. And, and there's the president and his kidnapper out by the road. My father based his investigation on the evidence Aldone provided. That was why he thought the kidnapping and the orphanage were connected somehow. And how he wound up suspecting Fifi Lagarde. She was the one running the orphanage at the time. Exactly. Also, there could be missing photos, I'd assume, but we don't know. But when the case went to trial, Excelsius Winter put a big hole in that. Oh, he did? Yeah, after all, the president and the kidnapper weren't actually on the grounds of the orphanage. So it was hard to conclusively prove any kind of connection. I agree with that. So they never were seen inside the gates of the orphanage? No. There's no background, so they were outside. Yeah. They were outside. Wait. That's vital too. The light was definitely not on. There's things going unmentioned. I mean, okay, it is a simulation, so whatever I find wrong is probably just a simulation, but there's things going left unmentioned. So they were never seen inside the gates of the orphanage.
detective busts a gut to find evidence on the scene. And then prosecutors come along and twist it for their own ends. Winter and Lagarde were working together. They had some kind of deal, I'm sure of it.
So you're saying that Chairman Winter was working with the kidnapper? Possibly. We know Winter was corrupt. Got Lagarde acquitted of the kidnapping. Were they accomplices? Likely. Your father was convinced that Lagarde was the culprit, correct? And you say he was a gifted and thorough investigator. Then he must have had more to support his theory than just Mr. Aldone's message, surely.
Yeah, he must have. I just don't know what it was. It wasn't exactly a case he'd like to talk about.
Agent Lang's father, Da Long Lang, trusted ally and confidant of President Wang. He discovered truths that were subsequently suppressed by Chairman Winter. Our first priority should be to find out what they want. What they were. Huh. Ah. Okay, see who we can talk to again and find out. We'll do the body again, last. There are burn marks on this pillar here. And the report says that there was a fire sometime in the evening. Fire? Yeah, one of the orphanage. What time? Some sort of prank. Ah. They sound... Uh-huh. Yes, we went through that. Okay. The gate. The same thing. Yes, okay. That was the same. Snow bear. 3 years. Wouldn't the big igloo? He said it again! Let's go! I think we went through these. Yep. Nobody else has anything new to say. Probably the swing too, but that's also probably the same. Yep, motorized swing. This is based off the photo, right? Where's the proof of the picture, the footprints? We don't have footprints in the snow yet. Huh, okay. These planters. According to the case file, the yard stretched around 3 sides of the orphan. Oh. And there were 3 planters on each side. Yes. One we've seen before. Okay. This is just the same as before. I know it's a line, Lily Francisca. Thank you very much. Alright. What about the footprints? These footprints stopped by the body. His feet were pretty big, weren't they? About a size 12. According to the file, they were the same size as his shoes. It's a match. I hope that's accurate. Mr. Aldone took his picture to the picture of the president's kidnapping from here. And then called Rosie Ringer. By which point his killer must have already been approaching from behind. With a brick in their hand, ready to strike. Uh-huh. Okay. And the major things. I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. Uh-huh. Yeah, I figured this would be brought up. The light's out for some reason. There's something gloomy about this picture. Know what I mean? They could have brightened it up a little, made the subject stand out a little better. I don't think the lack of light is the photographer's fault, okay? Now that streetlight appears to be broken. It does? Oh yeah, look at that. So you think the idea was to make the subject stand out with lightning, but it maybe didn't pan out? Yeah, you're probably right. Thanks for the explanation, Mr. Edgeworth. You're welcome, although you seem to have completely misunderstood it. Yep. Our good old snowman is the key clue here, though. Hey, that snowman! It was melted in the simulation of the morning After the murder, huh? Was melted, huh? Why would it melt? That muffler was all wet, and its little button eye had fallen off. The muffler. Indeed, it still looks reasonably healthy at this point. Although, not entirely, I can see one thing that's missing. Aw, poor guy. I bet some kid took it as a stupid prank. Not a bad piece of thieving, though. Maybe they had potential. You think one of the orphans took it? I'm not so sure. In fact, I think it was grabbed by someone else entirely. Uh-huh. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Be right back. Sorry about that. Have the game show up, please. Perfect. The president. D. Jun Wang. He was the president of Zhen Fa even back then. Does he look any younger? It's kind of dark. Can't really tell. Indeed. And the situation being what it is, his facial expression is somewhat distorted. I wonder where they took him after that. He didn't look like he aged, huh? Maybe that'll be something. He didn't really look like he aged. We don't know that yet, but depending on how our investigation progresses, we may find out soon enough. The president's kidnapper. We should see if we can judge anything based on their appearance. Roger that, Red Leaguer. Alright, let's have a look at you. The first thing of note is that they're holding the president at gunpoint. Trying to look all cool and tough, waving a pistol around whoever it is, they suck. Their coat and hat completely cover their face, so unfortunately we can't identify them that way. Turning their collar up and pointing their hat down and trying to be all mysterious. I hate this kidnapper. And they seem pretty relaxed. I don't think they're particularly nervous. Yeah, hand in the pocket, classic show-off move. You suck, you suck, you suck. Okay, that's... What? You said to judge them by their appearance. Well, yes, but I didn't mean it like that. Yo, welcome back, Professor. We have a good one? Okay, nothing else about that, but we can deduce the button. That do be a button eye. This snowman is missing a certain something, wouldn't you say? Yeah, his right eye. Indeed. Luckily, we've managed. Yo, Auntie, what up? Luckily, we've managed to locate it. Yeah. Edgeworth indeed. The button Mr. Aldone was holding. Look at that. It's the same type of button as the other eye and everything. And if we suppose that the button was indeed the snowman's missing eye, that presents something of a contradiction. The victim's location, I believe. Could be this. No, it has to be the victim's location, because he took a picture of everything else. The victim was clutching the button, and the button was covered with his blood, which means he must have grabbed it after being attacked. Let's run a little hypothetical, shall we? Ooh. That means his, Aha. I think that means his were the the back and forth footprints. Also, I believe his shoes were the wrong size, which they didn't mention, but I think those are the wrong size shoes. So that would make a little bit more sense. So somebody replaced his shoes, and okay. What if, after being struck, Mr. Aldone lost his balance and reached out to grab something to steady himself? The snowman. The snowman wouldn't have supported him, so he would have grasped the button and continued falling. Oh, I get it. So you're saying, I don't think that was right, that he was near the snowman when he was attacked? I am. Within arm's reach, to be precise. I believe that is what... That's... What day? The date in the game? The February, what, 10th? Well, happy birthday anyway? I don't know. I am within arm's reach, to be precise. And he's currently no... Oh, nice, nice, nice. And he's currently nowhere near that close. Right, but his footprints only go as far as the planter. He never came back this way. Ah. What if they weren't his footprints? I think we need to look at all the prints again. All right. I'll take us back to the scene when Mr. Aldone's body was found. Perfect. But the footprints on the left... Ooh, maybe he was the one that ruined the snowman, huh? But the footprints on the left definitely match with Mr. Aldone's shoes, right? So what's the deal? Oh, thank you, thank you. I try my best, trying to give everybody a voice. I can't voice women really well because my voice is way too masculine, but it works. Let's take another look and see if we can figure it out. The footprints, yes. Can we really be sure that these are Mr. Aldone's footprints? Well, they're the same size, a 12, which is pretty big, and the prints match his shoes. They also go straight to the middle of the planter, where his body was found. But as we've established, when he was attacked, he fell and grabbed the button from the snowman. Well, being a great thief, I know a few contortionist tricks, but that would be way beyond even me. Some average Joe stretching his arm that far, basically impossible. Not if they were Luffy, or who else stretches? Mr. Fantastic, or Plastic Man? That's the one. I think we can reasonably... No, I don't think so. I don't think so. This is a simulation, so this is how we... Or, well... It's also somebody sent... well, first off, this is a case from the past, and somebody moved him here, is basically what it is. Based off this photo. And we're trying to find the contradiction right now. I think we can be reasonably certain that the prints were made by the shoes the victim was wearing. But can we be certain that they were actually the victim's shoes? Yep. Perhaps we should take another look at them. Indeed we shall. These shoes, as the case file states. Yep. That's what I saw too. They match the footprints, but... These aren't the victim's shoes, I'm sure of it. What? What do you mean? Look at how the laces are tied. Does that look a little strange to you? That is not what I would look at. To call out the strangeness of the shoes, but sure. We can go with that. What's more, they don't appear to fit properly. I don't know how they were tied actually matters, but they were definitely too big. They appear to have been placed on his feet by the culprit after the murder. So these prints, they go right up to where the victim was found, and they stop right by his feet. But they didn't actually belong to him. So are the prints by his head his? The ones that lead away and come back? No, I don't think so. They're too debatable. So neither such belong to him. Then how did he get here? That's easy enough. He didn't walk. That's a possibility. He was carried by the killer. Yeah. So then, where did the murder take place? Was it really over by the snowman, as we suspected? That is the key question. Good old logic to save us. Let me, I guess, see. Can I look at the snowman again? I sure can. I think Mr. Aldone's body was moved. How else can we explain the button clutched in his hand? And that would suggest that he was killed somewhere near the snowman. I'd better take a closer look. I didn't even look here, okay. Must scour the scene. There's our brick! Our missing brick. Size 9 footprints going toward the body and away from it. The case file says they must have belonged to the murderer. They grow fainter as they get closer to the orphanage gate. That's just because there's less snow over there, no? Be that as it may, it certainly doesn't help in matching the prints up with the name and a face. Okay. Poor snowman. He's not looking good. It can't be helped. Snow and ice eventually melt. That's just how it is. And so do mysteries. All we have to do is wait. The snowman of the case will melt into the clear water of truth. All you have to do is wait, Kay. I have to work and solve those mysteries. Nothing else. I'm assuming that means this. Huh? Oh, look! There's a brick missing here. Yep. The rest of the brickwork looks fine. Strange that just this one is missing. Not really. So, there are planters outside the orphanage gate. It could have been outside the orphanage. One of the planters outside the orphanage. Okay. Look, they planted flowers in winter under all the snow. Indeed, a little frigid, but tasteful nonetheless, even if this is a simulation. Yeah, indeed. A bit frosty looking, but tasty nonetheless. For a simulation. He's talking about something completely different. Alright. Well, that was our missing brick and brick used in murder. Bam. Okay. So, we need to change how the scene looks, basically. It seems quite likely that the missing brick was the one used in the murder, wouldn't you say? Yes. Oh yeah, and now that you mention it, they're the exact same shape and size. I think it could be these two. Brick from the snowman, and the body was moved. Got it. Perfect. I think we have to conclude that the murder actually happened over by the snowman. Right. The button came from there. And the brick, too. Okay, in relation to everything else, then... He took, what? Took this photo? This photo. Then was ready to leave. But somebody stopped him at the gate, maybe? Indeed. And what's more, if the murderer took the brick from right by the snowman, and then tried to sneak upon the victim all the way over by the planters, Mr. Aldone would have seen them right away. Exactly. I think we need to update the simulation, Kay. Mr. Aldone wasn't standing by the planters, he was next to the snowman. Gotcha. All right, here we go. Whoa. Now we have everybody over here, which makes no sense. Or, different time frames, I guess? Huh. Yeah. No matter how you look at it, this just doesn't work, huh? Indeed, everyone who was present is in the exact same spot. So, where did we go wrong? One of the pieces of evidence on which we based our simulation must be the source of the problem. What if one of them was faked summon? It's gotta be this one, right? Faked? I find it odd that there's no background to this scene. I think it's gotta be this one.
Take that!
Can we really be certain that this picture was taken by Mr. Aldone? That is very true. It was an assumption. It was an assumption. I was thinking there would be another photo, but... Huh? What do you mean? We know that whoever killed him moved the body. But why would they have done that? What if they wanted to make it seem like he saw something he didn't? And then they took the photo to help back up the lie. They had the president at gunpoint. They could have easily have forced him to pose for the picture. He would have had no choice but to comply. Hey, now that you mention it, they only recovered one photo from Mr. Aldone's camera, right? Indeed, I imagine his killer probably removed the film after that was already in there. See, that's what I was thinking. How is there only one photo? Then replace it with another, thereby ensuring that the only picture found was the one they staged. Yeah, that makes total sense. So this picture was actually taken after Mr. Aldone was killed. No way. Uh-huh. Staged photo, okay. And there you have it. The picture doesn't show what Mr. Aldone saw at all. He saw something, though. It seems highly likely that it was simply staged to make us believe that was the case. Wait, so where was the president when Mr. Aldone thought he saw him being kidnapped? Luckily, the photograph isn't the only piece of evidence we can use to try and figure that out. Oh yeah, he left that voicemail too. He did. I think we should listen back to it one more time, don't you? This is surely the only place where the president and his kidnapper could have been standing. Ooh. Really? You're not gonna let me listen to the thing, too? I don't know this. Off the top of my head, I don't know this. I thought we were gonna listen back to it. God damn it, game. It's probably by the fire. I'm gonna guess by the fire. Recall this statement from Mr. Aldone's voicemail. Damn it, the light's out. Two of the lights here in the yard are broken. Yeah, you must have been talking about the one over by the building. Ah, okay. Wait, let me... where's the voicemail? Looks like he was being kidnapped. Okay. Did I get that right, actually? Alright, could you update the simulation to reflect everything we learned? Sure. Did I get that right? I got it right, let's go. It made too much sense to not be there, but that was complete guesswork. And there we have it. The kidnapper was standing over by the building. Yeah, which would certainly have strengthened the theory that they were connected to the orphanage. So they moved the body and staged the photograph to distort the picture painted by the voicemail, which helped them undermine the idea that the orphanage was involved when the case went to trial. Aha. Well, that certainly changes what this particular part of the simulation tells us. I imagine it will also affect our understanding of the scene from when the body was found. Only one way to find out. We're ready to make the jump. To switch between the two recreations. Talk to Kay. Okay. I guess we can do this guy. Who is the third person, though, right? Huh. Can we really be sure that these are Mr. Aldone's footprints? Well, they're the same size, a 12. Yes. Well, being a great thief, yes, we went through this. The contortionist bit. Alright. We'll start with this. There's no mistaking it. This is where Mr. Aldone actually took his picture. Before being attacked by the murderer and the brick from the planer just behind him. I feel like it should have been I guess the snowman's left eye, right? Huh. Maybe not, but it's whatever. After being attacked, he collapsed, grabbing the snowman's right eye as he fell. Which means his body would have been here at first, and not where we thought it was. Indeed, we should examine the area where we previously thought it fell to. Ah, okay. Oh, snowman. It's a snowman with one eye missing, and it's comes up to about my shoulder. That's a super heavyweight contender right there. Those kids weren't messing around. Never mind, its weight and size. I think we need some slightly more in-depth analysis here. Well, it has a bucket for a hat, button for eyes, and a nice fluffy muffler. The full snowman uniform. And it looks like it can't wait for me to punch it and kick it to 1,000 tiny snowman pieces. Perhaps if we could keep things a little less subjective, Kay. No, we need Kay's outbursts. Thank you very much. Mr. Aldone was killed here between the planters. Wasn't killed here between the planters at all. Then what's this blood doing here? Ah. Blood. There's more blood. There's supposed to be more blood. Things have changed considerably in terms of what the simulation is showing us. I thought it was weird that the blood was cut off. It's not from Aldone's body bleeding. It's from somebody else's body bleeding. Which... Ooh. Somebody else was murdered, or... Huh. Is it even blood, actually? Maybe. But if we take if we want to look more closely at this blood, I think we'll be better off looking at the simulation from which the body was discovered. Then what are we waiting for? I'm ready when you are. Okay. Yes. We'll have to go back to that in a second, then. First to these two. So this is where Mr. Aldone actually saw the so this is where Mr. Aldone actually saw the president and his kidnapper. Yes. Which pretty clearly suggests a link between the kidnapping and the orphanage. You can see why so much trouble was taken to suggest that it happened elsewhere. Yeah, they pulled some really dirty tricks there. Taking a photo like that, that's just cheating. And not to mention disposing of Mr. Aldone's camera film and forcing the president to pose at gunpoint. They must have put in some new film, then staged the photo immediately afterwards. And if Chairman Winter was involved, he could have changed or hidden other evidence as well. It certainly doesn't help that the SS5 case file was classified until just recently. Yeah, but he's behind bars now, and the truth is coming out at last. Indeed, although much still remains unclear. We need to look very closely at the differences between this and the previous simulation. Aha. Well, I think that's about... wait, what about the light? Can I get the light? No. It's a bit strange that 2 of the lights are out. I think it is time to go back to the past, or the other version. Oh. Switch recreations. You want me to show you the scene as reported in the case files, right? Okay, let's take another look. And there we have it. What do you have to say about the 3 cases? A kidnapping, a murder, and now a fire. There's too much going on here. I just can't keep up. The fire was started earlier on the evening of the incident, if I remember rightly. Before the kidnapping and the murder, in other words. I don't think it's unrelated. Does that mean something? The timing of the fire, I mean. I wonder if it might, yes. Isn't there something here that can't be correct if the fire actually happened first? Compared to the evidence. I thought the fire was something up with the fire too. There we go. Probably not the footprints. We can do this guy again. Somebody dropped a yellow flower here. It's a lion lily, right? Yes. I don't think that lion lily is unrelated. Oh. Oh, really? Fine, just the blood. It's cut off. Blood on the snow. A lot of it. It certainly looks as if the murder occurred here, doesn't it? Oh, wait. But we just figured out that Mr. Aldone was killed over there by the snowman, right? We did. I think this blood might belong to someone else. What? But the police report said the blood was Mr. Aldone's. Need I remind you that the case was overseen by Chairman Winter? Okay. I mean, he is likely to do that. The man would have had no scruples about altering the official record over something this small. But then, why go to all that trouble? Couldn't he have just cleared up the blood instead? He wasn't able to. Think about it. It was discovered, too. He knew that this was where the police would find Mr. Aldone's body. And he knew that the police would have certain scientific methods at their disposal to look for clues. Oh, you mean luminol? Yeah. They would have found traces of blood if they'd used that, for sure. Exactly. He wouldn't have been able to clean it up to the point where it was undetectable. Far easier to falsify the results of any such tests when they came back in. It would simply have been a matter of replacing the official results with the doctored copy. So we're looking at a forgery this whole time. That sucks. Wait, but if it says Mr. Aldone's clothes were covered with blood, too? It does. And if they weren't, and if they were, which seems entirely believable, it suggests that whoever's blood this is, it wasn't yet dry when Mr. Aldone's body was placed here. Oh, I get it. Which means that the other person's blood was spilled not long before Mr. Aldone was killed. I think it does, yes. But if that's the case, doesn't that present something of a contradiction? Uh-huh. This is the only part where there's no snow, huh? Because of the fire, one of the kids said. I imagine the snow had melted as a result. This must be the unluckiest orphanage in the world. First a fire, then a murder. Talk about going from bad to worse. The fire came first, but just because it caused the snow to melt. I think it's the fire. It's in the blood? Let me do this. Damn it. Oh, it does. Like this. Okay. Oh. Let me save real quick. Ah. It's either the blood or the fire.
Eureka!
There we go. There's a clear contradiction here. Huh? And the blood stain. The blood is clearly cut off where the snow was melted by the fire, which means that the blood in question was spilt before the fire was started. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you very much. Huh? But the fire happened before the murder, no? If we choose to believe the case file, then yes. But if the fire was actually set after what had happened here, the kid who lit it must have seen something, huh? Then why isn't there a witness statement? Because that would have challenged Chairman Winter's version of events. We need to know more about this fire, huh? You. Yes, Shifu. The fire might have been reported to the police, which means there might be a record of it. Go see if they have anything, and bring everything you find back here right away. Understood, Shifu. I'll get right on it. One more thing. What is it, Shifu? Contact my family back in Gen 5. Tell them to search my father's office. There should be something there related to the case. Hey. There should. What kind of something exactly? Probably vital evidence. I told you I'd seen this scene somewhere before, didn't I? Well, I remembered where. It was in my father's office. He had a picture of it. Or at least, of something very much like it. What? He never let the case go, it's obvious. It looked like it was drawn by a child. Ah. Possibly a child from the orphanage. Possibly even the child who set the fire. It should still be there somewhere. Tell them to send it right away. Yes, Shifu. Alright. Ooh. I don't believe there's any more to be found here. Okay. Who do we talk to then? Playing? No. So this is where Mr. Aldone really met his fate. But he was moved in order to make the scene consistent with the stage photograph. Over to the spot where between the planters. So the footprints, the fact that they go over there and come back. Yes, I think that tells us something important. That they were left by whoever carried him over. Gotcha. We have a whole bunch of people just standing around for us, huh? Francisca's conveniently in the way of our brick. I don't believe there's anything else. Why is it not, I guess we can logic. Probably. I don't know if this is connected, but probably. Oh, well. If Chairman Winner was involved in President Wang's abduction, then it seems likely that whatever he dug up yesterday has something to do with the kidnapping. Oh, I get it. You do. You bet I do. We're talking treasure, right? Loot. He must have been digging up the ransom money. The ransom money? $100 million is an awful lot of cash. Burying it would have been a good way to keep it hidden until the heat died down. It certainly seems like a possibility. Glad you agree. Okay. Monster footprint updated. That was all we were missing. Gotcha. Investigation complete. All right. She's shutting it down, or... Yep. Perfect. Shifu, I'm back, sir. I brought everything the police had on the fire, and I also brought the picture from your father's office. Oh, and one more thing.
About time. What kept you, huh? Well, hand it over.
Aw, you're not gonna listen? Let's take another look at this mysterious picture, shall we? There's a dog. Ah! It's Canis. It's Canis. It's not... It was Canis the first time. What the fuck? Oh, shit. Canis the first time. That means there was a dog, too, huh? Then somebody set up the second picture. The triangulation, because the swing set's in the back. Wait, what? This is almost where... Wait, what? Okay, I'm thinking is from top right down, because the swing set's clearly in the back and the planters are not. The planters are a weird spot too. This is definitely Canis. There's the plushie he had, the original Taurosaurus. And the lion lilies. And the bunny. What's the bunny have to do with it? Who had a bunny? Who had a bunny? Oh, man. I don't think a bunny's been relevant yet, right? Oh, man. I think that bunny's gonna be relevant, but I don't... Oh, a toy? A toy contraption, maybe? I don't know.
This is it. This is a picture I remember.
Could this be a depiction of something that happened on the night of the incident? It sure looks like a kid drew it, huh? Yes, and I'm willing to bet it's the work of the child who set the fire. Depicts what he saw on the night of the incident. Alright. Shifu, there's...
What now? Look, it'll have to wait, okay? Well, Mr. Prosecutor? Why do you think my father kept this?
I imagine he acquired it at some point during his investigation. Although, I have no idea why he would have chosen to keep it to himself. Could we see the case file for the fire, too?
Sure, here.
I want to know what the man has to say. I'll just give you... If you'll just give me a moment to read through it. It seems the boy who started the fire snuck out of bed on the evening of the incident. And then disappeared several days later.
What? Must have been because he saw something, right?
No. A kid, really? That's horrible. But sadly, not unimaginable.
Huh? Looks like the kid left something behind that was put into evidence.
Huh, what's this? That. But what's it doing in that case file?
What is it, Mr. Prosecutor? Have you seen this somewhere before?
Something very much like it, yes. You have a piece of evidence that could be, well, be connected. Uh-huh. A Taurosaurus plushie.
Take that!
I don't know what it was doing in the evidence for that case. But it looks like that might be the missing horn from this soft toy.
Hey, that was President Wayne's.
You've seen it before.
Of course. He always kept it somewhere close by.
We get to open the plushie, don't we?
I remember it because of the missing piece.
I see. It has a special device inside it that plays recorded sound when you twist the horn. There's a separate recording. Hey, do you think maybe putting the horn back on might unlock some more recordings? You never know. The toy itself should still be on the 51st floor.
Hey, you heard the man.
Yes, Shifu, I'll go fetch it right away. Damn. Here it is, Shifu. The Taurosaurus doll, just like you asked.
Good work. Hand it to the prosecutor over there.
Why am I handling everything? Well, does the horn found at the orphanage fit the president's plushie?
Man,
It fits perfectly.
and any more recordings on there?
Hi. Jim. Sorry, President Wang. It's me, Amelia. Amelie? Amelie. I know, it's been a while. I saw in the news that you were visiting the country soon. And I didn't know whether I should get in touch at all, but in the end, I decided I had to.
Overruled.
Gavel, turn it off right now. What's gotten into Judge Gavel? Amelie, huh? Are you okay? Just turn it off, please. You see, I had a baby. A beautiful little boy. Your beautiful little boy. I'm sorry, that's pretty much all I wanted to tell you. Oh, except I call them Sean. Sean Fenn. It has a nice ring to it, don't you think? No! Sean Fenn. Yeah. It all makes sense suddenly. I think it was definitely kind of leading there. Like we didn't have anything concrete until now, but just from the ages, you could tell that he had to be adopted, right? Unless this story went way darker than you were thinking it would. Okay. Also makes sense why he was hanging around Sean during the filming.
The kid.
And also that I'll be at the orphanage on the evening of the 9th. I'll be waiting in the front yard. I thought you can meet him if you like. Even if it's only just this once. I know you're a very busy man, but anyway, that's where we'll be. Goodbye. Aww. What? He was my dad. I'm so sorry, Sean.
Here to explain what the heck is going on, Gavel.
Sean isn't my biological son. That's fairly obvious. I adopted him. Fairly obvious. And he was aware of this. Yes, of course. His mother, Amelie Fenn. She died 5 years ago. We were cousins. Ah, okay. But we were also friends. Yo! Welcome in, Grace. The best of friends. People often mistook us for sisters. Just playing some Ace Attorney. Getting some truth revealed. The kid was indeed adopted, apparently. Not the biggest reveal, but it's supposed to be. And so, when she died, it seems only natural that Sean would come and live with me. How are you, V2? Oh, I don't know. I'm just having fun with it. Of course, we had to keep his father's identity secret. Fair enough. And I decided the best way to do that would be for him to never know in the first place. Well, I go by Azrren, personally, but... that isn't the name of the model or whatever, but I'm Azrren, so... It's quite a lot to learn from a recording made on a seemingly innocent toy. It's not so innocent. Sean never knew his father, okay. I guess Sean's mother must have recorded the message and then sent the plushie to the president. Hey. No, it's a pre-made. Off VGen. But it's pretty high quality and cheap, so, you know, good starting one. Yeah, Sean. You're sure? He was really my dad. Yes, I'm sure. Before you were born, your mother worked for a time as a diplomat in Gen 5. Makes sense. That line of work might well have brought her into contact with the president. Diplomats doing stuff they shouldn't. I mean, not a lot of money. But yes, I paid for it. What? You told me she worked at the orphanage. She did, but only after she returned. After she quit the diplomatic service. She always loved helping others. The orphanage was perfect for her.
Sorry, Judge Gavel, but I have to ask. Amelie, the lady who asked the president to come, why didn't she show up herself? Why isn't she anywhere in the files related to the SS5 incident? She never made it to the rendezvous that night. Someone was tailing her. Okay. I'll bet that was Chairman Winter's doing. Though sadly, we can't prove it. And because she couldn't make it, she never saw the president again. That doesn't make sense. She did see the president, or at least handed off the toy somehow, some way. And she died 5 years ago. This can't be easy for Sean. Hey, Sean, are you thirsty? We could go get a soda. My treat, okay? Come on, I think I saw a vending machine over there. I think I can't buy myself a soda? This is important, and it's about me. I'm staying. Oh, that didn't work at all. Yeah. Okay, can you tell us why you met with the president 2 nights ago then? Gavel, huh? Sean, perhaps now you can guess why I met with the president. Okay, can you explain fully? Oh, so that's it. That was the big secret. I wanted to tell him face to face that Amelie was gone. That's why they look so... dour is the word, maybe? But also that you were alive and well. More than well. But it makes sense now. No wonder Judge Gavel was so keen to avoid sharing the details of their meeting. I mean, it wasn't the best kept. Well, it was a well-kept secret, but it was also kind of obvious. Yeah, so she would have to share the truth about Sean, too. That was why I took the lion lilies with me.
so there would be no doubt that I knew Amelie, and that I knew her well. These flowers bore special significance for the two of them, you see. The song's so good. President Wang gave Amelie a bouquet of lion lilies in the early days of the romance. Oh, thanks for the follow then. And thanks for stopping by. But now, he too is dead. If only he had lived. Sean might finally have been able to get to know him. But it's too late now. Unless he's not actually murdered. Shifu, sir! I've been waiting for the right time to say this, but...
What? What is it?
Thank you. I'll look at following you back then after my stream's over then, but... What is it? You've been hovering there this whole time. Can it wait? They sent something else from Zhen Foster. President Wang's will. Ah,
What?
the president's will, huh?
He gave my father medal after medal. They had to come up with new ones just for him. In the end, there were no medals left to give, so he made us the keepers of his last will and testament.
I know, I'm really close. I'll get there eventually, hopefully.
Those medals, that duty, that's our greatest pride, our family jewels. What? This is...
What is it, Agent Lang? Does this have anything to do with our current case?
You could say that.
Seems he was planning on publicly acknowledging Sean as his son. Ah. Sean's name appears in the president's will. And we're certain that the document is authentic. The President Wang wrote it himself.
Sure we are. It's old, but it's real. My family took charge of it back before the SS5 incident happened.
Before the SS5 incident? Wait. That means he knew about his son the whole time, basically. So he received the plushie earlier. Which means that's why you came to the orphanage. Actually, let me... I can't listen to the recording again. Damn it. Okay.
They'll want to analyze it back home to be sure, but I'd stake my name on it being the genuine article.
Wang was a renowned world leader. A child nobody knew about would have been sure to cause a stir. Yeah. And yet, he chose to mention the child in his will nonetheless.
Well, that's that, I guess. I still can't quite believe it, but the president confirmed it with his own hand. There's no denying, Sean, you're President Wang's son. Wow. Sean.
Well.
Sean.
Oh, we're the one that chased after him? Okay. They wanted it to be a big reveal, not the biggest thing. I mean, we didn't know who the father was, but now we know who the father was, so... And of course, it was a diplomat. I mean, I'm not looking to pay anything, but if you... I mean, if you want to spread my stream around or whatever, that's fine, but that'd be on your own, whatever you would be wanting to do for your... Well, that's a good way to put it. Whatever you're happy with doing is whatever you're happy doing, and I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. Okay. April 6th. Okay. Sean. He was my dad. It can't have been easy, learning the truth about his father's identity so unexpectedly. And too late to even get to know him. You know how hard I tried to find him. What would you like to suggest? Sean. I get it. He was a president. He had a lot more to think about than just me. But he was right there in front of me. Right there on the set. So why? Why didn't he just say something? Why didn't he tell me who he was? Because he was up to something dirty, or somebody was after him. Are we in ladder yet, by the way? We're not in ladder yet. Damn. This is a long-ass case. I'm sorry, Sean. I'm so sorry. It's not your fault, Mom. It's mine. Huh. I'm alright for now, but thank you for the suggestion. It's not your fault, Mom. It's mine. If I hadn't broken my promise to you, that fire would have never happened, and he wouldn't have... I've ruined everything. Everything. It's all my fault. I even ruined your flowers. Sean. I mean, I'm growing slowly but surely. Please, you mustn't blame yourself. Just try to be here with me. Just for a little while. The bond between parent and child, as symbolized by the lion lily. I'm no expert, but it's native to Gen Fall, so I know that much at least. Sadly, we don't have the luxury of dwelling on such things just now. I know it might seem insensitive, Agent Lang, but sentimentality won't help us here. We need to focus on what we can do about the case before us. You're right. I believe we've learned all we need to know about what happened back then for now. How did it all line up with your father's theories about the case? I wouldn't know. He took those to the grave with him. Okay. He never shared his thoughts with anyone. There's no way of knowing now that he was figured out. What about your own thoughts? Are you feeling any more positive in... Are your feelings any more... Wait, are you feeling any more positive in light of what we learned about from K's reconstruction? Are we any closer to learning what really happened 12 years ago? I would say so. You know, I think we might be. My father's footsteps are starting to become clear. And now, all we need to do is follow them. All the way to the truth. Hey! The real story of the SS5 incident. The president went to the orphanage that night. That much we know for sure. The Taurosaurus toy proves it. He must have gone there to meet Amelie Fenn. Except he was kidnapped, and Aldone happened to see it. Huh. If Aldone hadn't been there, there would have been a murder. Wouldn't have been a murder, just a kidnapping. Instead, they had to move his body to the planters and stage that photo to throw everyone off the set. Uh-huh. So that's our current... So that's our current theory, is it? Uh-huh. 12-year-old incident in which President Wang was kidnapped and the sole witness was murdered. Uh-huh.
But there's something I still don't understand.
Thanks for the redeem. I'm working on things. There is.
This. Why risk staging the photo? They would have had to force the president to play along. What if he had it?
It's a good question. And we may be closer to discovering the answer than we think. We'll just have to get it there, one deduction at a time.
Yeah, I guess we will. All right, deduct away. President win.
Oh, was that a save 20? It was save 20. Damn.
The president went to the orphanage that night. That much we know for sure.
Hold it!
Nothing should be taken for granted at this stage. We need to treat even the seemingly certain with caution. Can we really be sure that the president went to the orphanage?
I get it. You want evidence.
This is a nice change. This is a nice change of pace from people asking you to show them proof, huh, Mr. Azrren? Sure is. There's no need to actually say it out loud, Kay.
Guitar-Saurus toy proves it. He must have gone there to meet with Amelie Fenn.
Okay.
Hold it!
The plushie. It was a recording device concealed inside it, correct?
It does, and it was used by Sean's mother, Amelie.
To record a message asking the president to meet her at the orphanage at midnight. Whoa. You're finishing each other's sentences now. What a team. Okay. You two will peel away the layers of the truth like an onion. I'm sure of it. You do realize that there's nothing underneath all the layers of an onion, don't you, Kay? Alright. Could you try to say something a little less unfortunate sounding? Damn, alright. You two will peel the layers of the truth like the skin of a wolf. I'm sure of it.
He said less unfortunate sound.
Shall I continue?
Except he was kidnapped and Aldone happened to see
Hold
it.
it!
Could we go over the details once again? So, Mr. Aldone saw the president being kidnapped from right by the orphanage. And he was standing right next to the snowman.
The murderer crept up behind him, grabbed a brick and... Ow!
Ah! Calm down, Kay. We're simply verifying our understanding of events. Yeah, well, that little outburst just blew my understanding out of my ears. I know we have to go over all of this. I know we have to go over all of this again, but can we do it less dramatically?
Really? Fine. I'm happy to keep answering if you're happy to keep asking.
Ah.
Aldone hadn't been there. There wouldn't have been a murder, just a kidnapping.
Hold it!
That's debatable. If Mr. Aldone hadn't been there, huh? That's an interesting suggestion. Care to explain?
There's not a whole lot to explain. He saw the kidnapping, so he was murdered.
If he hadn't been there, maybe the kidnapping could have happened without any blood being spilled. But could it? He makes it sound as if it was Mr. Aldone's fault he was murdered. I'm willing to look at something, but I don't want to click on any links or anything to be fully honest. So it makes it sound as if it was Mr. Aldone's fault he was murdered. That's not what Agent Lang is saying, Kay. What he means is that Mr. Aldone was the only person who died at the orphanage that night. Well, of course he was. They kidnapped the president and everything. It makes it sound as if it was Mr. Aldone's fault he was murdered. Mr. Aldone was the only person who died at the orphanage. Okay. I don't know if that's true, though. But the ransom was paid, and he came home safely, right? She's right, of course. But why does something bother me about that? I think it might be worth taking another look over all the evidence. Finish discussing things with your assistant, Mr. Prosecutor? Then let's continue, shall we? Instead, they had to move the body to the planters and stage the photo to throw everyone off the set.
Hold it!
Huh. Yeah, welcome back, Nancy. I'm just gonna... I'm gonna do that. Should be gone now, I think. Anyways. This is another... I mean... Damn. Both of you. I don't know. They were very committed. I was like, I kind of don't mind, like, an ask, but I was like, damn. I'm not trying to answer this 5 times. Anyways. My bad on that, guys. I probably should have stopped it immediately, but oh well. This is another very important part of our current theory. Shall we go over all the details again? Sure, probably a good idea. Alright, first, what did Aldone see? Saw the president being kidnapped from right in front of the building. I also, it felt very much like they were trying to get a scam, me to click on a scam link. So I was like, I was very hesitant. But the kidnappers were keen to avoid any suggestion that they might be connected with the orphanage. Yes. So they replaced the film in Aldone's camera and staged a photograph of the kidnapping occurring further away from the building. Indeed, and then they moved Mr. Aldone's body to a location consistent with what the picture showed. The secrets buried under the snow 12 years ago are finally coming to light. And we're sure that's really what happened that night? Definitely not. There's more to it, because there's Canis in the picture. What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? I get the sense we're still not seeing everything. That there was something else at play behind it all. There is. But what? And there's a piece of evidence we've discovered that Agent Lang's theory can't explain. We have to present him with it and develop our thinking further. What is it? Also, this Taurosaurus, why do you have it if he was meeting her for the first time? But, it could have been, what about, I don't know what to say here, actually. Let's see. It's not this line particularly. What the child did is suspicious. And also, the child's drawing. The blood, the drawing. The setting the fire, too. And this was updated. Supposed to meet Amelia Fenn at the orphanage at midnight. Witness Alf Aldone was murdered. His body moved in a photograph of a kidnapping staged. Why stage a kidnapping, though? Right? Huh. I have a feeling I'm gonna miss this one a little bit, so I'm gonna save. I think I can go with probably this line. Or there's even this too, huh? Let me try the Taurosaurus. I don't have the recording, so I don't think it's that actually. Yeah, no. Except he was kidnapped and Aldone happened to see it. There wouldn't have been a murder, just a kidnapping. Throw everyone off the scent? It could be the child's photo here.
Objection!
Damn it.
Longji says, doubt first the man who makes a statement without proof. But I don't think I'm ever going to go as far as doubt what you just said. I'll just ignore it. Because it was clearly a total bluff.
Alright, fine. Could that really have been wrong? You can't bluster your way past Agent Lang, Mr. Edgeworth. You are right. I'll need to confront him head on. I'm probably gonna have to repress him again. We've discovered that Agent Lang's theory can't explain. I think it has to be related to either the child's drawing or the photo. Or, not the child's drawing or the fire.
Objection!
No. Yeah. You can doubt me. Go ahead. I probably do want to repress them all again then.
Hold it!
Hadn't been there. Not any blood being spilled. But could it? was the only person who died at the orphanage that night. Wait, no. I got it. We do have proof for that. It's a no. Where does it say though? Where's the blood? The details. That's his blood. What about the actual blood? The blood wasn't Aldone's. There we go. We're saying there would have been no murder if Mr. Aldone hadn't witnessed the kidnapping. But if that really is that really the case? Why wouldn't it be? Their main aim was to abduct the president, right? So if there hadn't been a witness, they wouldn't have needed to murder anyone. And yet it remains possible that Mr. Aldone wasn't the only person killed that night. There was a large pool of blood between the planters, but Mr. Aldone was murdered over by the snowman. It can't have belonged to him. What if all that blood by the planter belonged to someone else? Come on now, Mr. Prosecutor. You do realize what you're saying, don't you? I do. It's hard to believe, I'll be the first to admit it, but it's what the evidence suggests. Not just one person was killed here 12 years ago, but 2 or more. You're saying they covered up a whole separate murder. But whose? Who else was killed that night? God. Is it really the president? He did change. It could be the president. I wonder what this bunny is in the bottom. A spring... like, not almost like a bobblehead, not really a bobblehead, but like one of those like spring toy things. But who else was killed that night? Whoever covered up this other homicide did so very skillfully indeed. They even seem to have been able to avoid it being mentioned in the files. But they didn't quite get rid of everything. You have a piece of evidence from 12 years ago that they never managed to erase. Something else happened.
Take that!
I was early. I was a prompt early. God damn. Excelsius Winter tried to shroud the existence of the other murder in darkness. But there was one piece of evidence he wasn't able to suppress. Thanks to the efforts of your father, Agent Lang. My father? Cast your mind back, if you will. Something else was hidden along with all the other evidence from the crime scene. The existence of the child who set the fire in front of the orphanage. But why would Chairman Winter wish to erase him from the record? Because he saw something he should not have. That's why. The child? Okay. He did. What was it? It's right here in this picture. The picture my father kept. I think we can all agree that the president on the right-hand side, and that the Taurosaurus toy is in his hand. But who's that standing across from him? Conveniently a can. Eastern robes and a black dog. That can only be Bodhidharma Canis. What? The creepy assassin guy? And... Wait. I feel like Fifi Lagarde didn't like Canis. Unless they were working together the whole time, too. Even during the prison murder or whatever. That brings up some questions, but we'll let it slide for now. And what would a hired killer be doing in the presence of a president? I can think of only one thing. That's right. It wasn't a kidnapping that occurred here 12 years ago. It was an assassination.
Hiya!
And Warden Lagarde and Chairman Winter were... Yes, I think they were complicit. More than complicit, in fact. That could make sense why Canis was allowed so much freedom in the prison, I guess, huh? One provided the venue for the killing, and the other suppressed the testimony of the child who witnessed it. This what's it called? CG is also very reminiscent of something, and it's gonna show fucking Canis. And then why'd they have to use the Yatagarasu scene for this, man? Mr. Aldone was murdered because what he witnessed was actually an assassination, and not the kidnapping he thought it to be at all. Wait. We have the voicemail. Where's the voicemail? Did see something. There was a sound at the end. Oh wait, no, I think that was the break hitting his head. You couldn't quite see it, okay. Possible he was murdered.
Do you think I'm an idiot? How could the president have died 12 years ago? We only found his body this morning. He was alive and well until just recently.
Yeah, we even met him. We met a version of him. Indeed, so we have a president killed 12 years ago and a president killed in the last 48 hours. Two presidents, in other words. Right, which is completely impossible. Or is it? I think it's entirely possible for there to be two presidents. In fact, that would explain a lot. It sure would.
But regardless of what happened, I still respect it. Shenfa may not be a big country, but he held the place together.
The president Agent Lang spoke of was a noble and capable leader. Yeah. The presidential mask has well and truly slipped. Does that mean wait, did they fake another bot? Is this another body double, actually? The current day one, another body double? Maybe. Entirely unlike the man we met. I'm still not over that his that he didn't appear the fat, like he's not sucking his gut in with the dead body. It really did seem as if they were two completely different people. But how could one country have two presidents? What could explain a situation like that? This is how it was possible for there to be two presidents. Oh well. One was a body double. One of the two was a body double. Tell me that doesn't make sense.
A body double?
President Wang was a man of great power and influence in Zenfa, a figure on the world stage. There must have been countless attempts on his life over the years. Such as the one at Gourd Lake only a few days ago.
It's true. There were more than a few assassination attempts. But that doesn't mean I'm about to accept there were more than one president. Not without proof.
How do I prove that? We have proof that there was more than one president. It could be this, with what I was just saying. It could be this, too. Him never going down? That's kind of a stretch, I feel like, though. Okay, we can't see him here. This is unrelated currently. Was supposed to meet. There is that. How did he get the plushie if you didn't meet them? But I think it could be this photo too. Wait, ooh. It's this, I think.
Damn. Long G says, bad proof has no mouth. In other words, meaningless evidence can tell us nothing.
Must have gotten it wrong. If you could prove that he'd ever been in two places at once, that would be pretty good evidence that there were two presidents, right? It would. Let's look over the evidence again and consider the facts of the case.
What you're saying is impossible. There can't have been two presidents.
Two places at once, two places at once, two places at once. Maybe it is the security camera footage. Because it stated he never left, right? But he ended up somewhere else? Or, well, he disappeared from there. Maybe...
Take that!
Damn. Long G says...
Yeah.
bad proof has no mouth.
Where could he appear at twice, though? I guess we just do the body, right?
Take that!
Fuck it, I'm gonna try. Nope.
Bad proof has no mouth.
Where did he appear twice, though? That wasn't him. There's more than one president. No. I mean, I know the recording. Like, how did he get the plushie, right? We need proof that there is more than one president. Two places at once, though. President embassy until midnight confirmed by Da Long Lang. How do you get there that quickly then, I guess? Yeah. Yes, okay. It's gotta be the email then, I think. I don't think he's noticed the contradiction staring him at in the face. Or is he just unable to accept it?
What's the matter, Mr. Prosecutor? You're pretty quiet all of a sudden.
In Amelie's Fenn's recording, she asked the president to be at the orphanage at midnight. But it shouldn't have been possible for him to be there at that time. Huh? How come? Because he was supposedly still at the embassy. Yeah. Reading the evidence explains, yeah. With your father, Agent Lang. Ah, so he had noticed. But his father couldn't be lying, could he? The only way he could have been in two places at once is if there were two of him. Oh! So the real president. That was the one who... died 12 years ago. I think it might have been. I thought about what if Lang's father was the body double, but I don't think so.
But why? And who? Who would have killed Canis? Who would have hired Canis to murder the president?
In order to figure that out, we'll need to look again at the piece of evidence we recently discovered was a fake. This
Take
photo.
that!
The picture taken with Mr. Aldone's camera was staged sometime after his murder. And Mr. Aldone was murdered because he witnessed the president's assassination. In other words, the photograph, too, must have been taken after the real president's death. Ah. You know what Shelley D. Killer just... he was hired to kill the president, but he stopped because the president was already dead, huh? Good to know. Ah, but he didn't know the president was already dead. Okay. In other words, the photograph too. Yeah, I'm sure there's a little more to that story, but must have been taken a little bit. I'm piecing it little bit by little bit. In other words, the photograph too must have been taken after the real president's death. So who is the president in the staged photograph? The body double. Nothing else makes sense. Who is the body double, though? Why you have to use the Yatagarasu framing? Fine. I believe the president's body double had him killed so that he could take his place permanently. That's very similar to first case, almost. An Excelsius winner, and Fifi Lagarde helped him do it.
Wait, you don't even have a body to support your theory. Are you telling me it magically disappeared?
Objection!
No, in fact, we know exactly where it wound up. I think it's that one. No. Ooh, the planters? It could be the planter, but I don't really have evidence for a planter, so probably not. I think this is what they want us to do, but I don't think this is right. I don't know. The body was here the whole time? We know exactly where it wound up. Ah. I think it was this.
Take that!
The footprints. Chairman Winter dug something up last night. Something he couldn't trust anyone else to retrieve. He thought it might have been the ransom money, but it was actually something even more important. Wait, you mean... That's right. The real president's body. I think it's highly likely anyway.
What?
The body may have decomposed in the intervening years, but the bones would surely have remained. Okay. I was like, what about the the state of the body? But they are covering it. Mr. Powers informed us that construction is due to start here sometime soon. Everything had to be wrapped up before then. The shooting of the movie, and the recovery of the president's remains. Yeah, I guess once they start digging this place up, they would have found them pretty quick, huh? Agent Lang, we need to have the so-called monster footprint analyzed again.
Yeah, I guess we do. If there was a body under one of them, there should be a trace evidence to confirm it. Hey, give me somebody from forensics.
Aha. Sir, presenting the findings of our new analysis, sir. Oh. Traces of human remains were found in the dirt, along with other signs of a body having been buried. Got it in one, let's go. So, it really was him. Bones were also recovered from the home of Excelsius Winter, sir. The physiques look to be about right. And the dental and medical records are a match. It's him, no doubt about it. I don't think you could tell physique from a 12-year corpse, but bone and dental made sense. So, as suspected, the real President Wang was killed 12 years ago. And the SS-5 kidnapping was, in fact, a homicide. Uh-huh. Oh, wow. So it really was a murder, huh? This case has taken so many twists and turns, I'm starting to lose track. It sure has. Yes, perhaps we should summarize our findings just to confirm that we understand everything correctly. Good idea. Let's go over everything from the point where the president arrived at the orphanage. Okay. 12 years ago, the real President Wang visited the orphanage. His aim, to meet his infant son. Yes. That makes sense. The footprints were originally... were originally assumed to be those of Miss... So the kid should have been... Canis is the one. Seems likely to have actually been made by the president upon his arrival. Yep. He has big feet because he's a big dude. But instead of being greeted by his child, Canis, yep, he was met by the assassin Bodhidharma Canis. Yep. That's so sad. He was hoping to see his baby for the first time, only to... Indeed. But at least with Mr. Canis, we can be sure that the job was swiftly and effectively completed. But then, after the assassination, another tragedy occurred. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of unknowns. Or, well, the real world's fucked up like that, you know? But... But then, after the assassination, another tragedy occurred. Mr. Aldone's murder. Yes, it seems he witnessed a key moment in the evening's proceedings. Why'd they move over here? The moment when our culprits, the so-called kidnappers... Oh wait, all this whole path was burned down, so there were no footprints. Okay. Took the president's body around the side of the building. That was the site that sealed his fate. We've now established that he was standing by the orphanage gate at the time. Far enough away that he believed... We still have our third, though. Or, I guess our... What? Our fourth person. Far enough away that he believed what he was seeing was the president's abduction. At which point... Oh! The body double who had come to meet up with his co-conspirators. Walked right up behind Mr. Aldone. That would be a convenient thing to make sense, but I don't know. Leading to our unfortunate eyewitness being murdered by the man who was plotting to replace the president. So, was it the body double who moved Mr. Aldone's body too? Possible. Yes, I think it probably was. But none of the footprints could have been his, could they? Actually, I think they could. In fact, we have a piece of evidence that proves how that particular trick was achieved. Shoes? They wore the shoes, and then... What if the president double moved Mr. Aldone's body like this? After killing Mr. Aldone, he could have carried him to the other side of the entrance. Given that his job was to look like the president, he would have been wearing the same shoes. Meaning that if he stepped exactly in the footprints left to be by the real president. Got it. Of course. His would have been the same shape and size. It would have looked like a single set of footprints, but he took them off. And then how to get away? That doesn't explain the other set of footprints, though. So that's how it all went down. I'm so glad we figured it out. Fine, wait, but there's one thing I still don't get. There is what? Why did they need to pretend there was a kidnapping? Mr. Aldone had seen the president at the orphanage and left a message on Miss Ringer's phone describing what he thought he saw. Yup. It would have been impossible for the conspirators to erase that message. So they had to make it look as if the events described in the message were true. By staging a kidnapping like the one he thought he saw. Exactly. I think the two people in the photograph are likely to be the body double and... I don't believe that's Fifi Lagarde. It's too male. I mean, it's an assumption, because we can't really tell, but it's too male of a figure. Okay. She's the one in the trench coat. How can you be so sure of that? The two of them would have had to walk out beyond the orphanage gates to stage the photo. The body double could have put his feet in the real President Prince as he did before. Oh, so the other set of footprints were hers. Possibly the ones we originally thought belonged to the killer, yes. Step. And back. Huh, okay. That means they stepped over the body, though, which is kind of insane. The ones we originally thought belonged to the killer, yes. They were about a size 9, too small for Chairman Winner and other. Okay. Why do we know Chairman Winner's foot size, huh? Off the top of our heads. Interesting. Which means the kidnapper must have been played by Warden Lagarde. And that explains how a so-called kidnapping was actually a presidential assassination.
It does, which means my father must have...
He must have.
Notice. There's no way he wouldn't have suspected a murder. Especially not with the kid's picture as proof.
Yeah, The kid factoring... I mean, I think it's plausible the kid didn't get caught, but why did the kid set fire to the thing? But the picture was never officially put into evidence, correct? No, he appeared to have kept hold of it after taking the witness statement of the child who drew it.
Yeah, because he knew. He knew President Wang was dead. And he knew what would happen if that news ever got out.
Zhen Fa would have been plunged into chaos, no doubt.
So he kept it a secret, and that secret died with him. Even though it meant taking the blame for the kidnapping, and our family name being ruined.
So, your father knew the truth about what happened 12 years ago, but he chose to hide it. Well, it's finally come to light at last. SS5 incident, case file, in which President Wang was kidnapped and the sole witness was murdered. Oh wait, they need to be updated. Just updated. Is it indeed intriguing? Ah, we have a new voice too. Let me look at this real quick. Supposed kidnapping was enacted in order to cover up the murder of the real Wang. Witness Alf Eldon killed, body moved, and a photograph of the kidnapping staged. The crime was carried out by Wang's body double, Excelsius and Fifi. Intriguing. Huh?
What? Who's there?
Who is it? Alright. Alright. Now Candace is back to throw a wrench in things. God damn it. I knew it was too early. Indeed. Alright. Throw your wrench, Candace. That sound. Is that a bell? He's still in his prison uniform. Bodhid Harma Kanis. And the doggo.
What the heck are you doing here?
We're the law. You think you can just show up in front of us like it ain't a problem?
Forgive me, but I couldn't help overhearing the fascinating conversation you were having.
Oh, the opportunity to gloat over your past crimes was too good to miss, I expect.
You killed.
He is very alien looking.
You killed President Wang. I did, but it's not something I'm inclined to gloat over. I was more interested in something else you mentioned.
Is not a dog?
Damn, really?
It's a cat.
I was more interested in something else you mentioned. Or someone else, should I say.
The body double? Someone you're looking for, I suppose.
Exactly. That's why I took a little sojourn from the penitentiary to find a certain young pup. A young pup in a rather eye-catching red raincoat.
What? Wait, you know who they were?
In a manner of speaking. What did you call them again? A secret masterminds?
Who is it? Also, I don't know why, but the phrasing of this this call was very Fender-esque. So I'm sorry, Fender. I don't know why. It's your friend in the red raincoat, of course. Red rain.
The prosecutor looks a little surprised, doesn't he? Helmut, yes, he does. The young pup I mentioned, he saved my life, 12 long years ago.
Uh-huh.
My unexpected savior. As you have surmised, it was I who killed President Wang. But that meant that I, too, became an inconvenience in need of removal. The imposter president, Winner, and the guard, all three were keen to guarantee my silence. And if I hadn't met my friend, the young pup, again, they might even have succeeded.
I don't like how he's saying young pup either.
I wonder what he's doing now.
So it was the president's body double who hired you.
I remember his words almost as if it was yesterday.
You know how many times I've nearly been killed? Not once, not twice, a bunch of times. Why do I have to take all the risks? Why am I the only one out they always put in danger? When I'm out there being him, people treat me like I was him. They worship me. So what's the difference? Who's to say I couldn't be just as good as him?
There was a difference, of course. Even if he did look and sound exactly like him. Just because it walks and talks like a president, that doesn't make it a president, does it, boy? No.
So he got his wish and became the boss, but couldn't quite fill his predecessor's shoes. Well, I already connected this doc, or this link. Rook's not around. That means I'm number one. I wonder if you have what it takes to step into such capable shoes. You? Of course I do. I'm the leader, now me. Seems the king and his knight were much the same. Yeah. The president's double knew that his employer had a weakness. A young woman named Emily. But in order to find her, he needed to enlist the help of locals. Locals, such as Chairman Winner. Once Miss Fan had been located, they simply needed to find the right time to lay their trap. The meeting she arranged so the president could meet his son. That would have to have been the perfect opportunity. Indeed. And with the head of the orphanage brought into the fold, their little conspiracy was complete. Warden Lagarde. And now, quid pro quo. Where might I find the pup? What makes you think the boy who helped you and our mysterious string puller are one and the same? The boy? The boy who helped you and our own are one and the same. He set a little fire that night, out there in the yard of the orphanage. Ah! Oh, yeah, we saw that. It was some kind of prank, right? A prank? It was nothing of the sort, my dear. No, as I understand it, you're taking refuge in the igloo by the entrance. I knew it had to be. I thought it was one of these two. Because he saw those swing sets so clearly. From there, he happened to see Winter and the guard carrying away a dead body. Warden and Lagarde. Oh, wait. Winter and Lagarde. Winter and Lagarde. Okay. Where's Canis then? He also overheard them hatching a certain sordid little plot. A plot to remove me, the only one who knew what had really happened from the picture. Thankfully, he was kind enough to come and inform me. I was waiting inside the building, you see. He also happened to mention later on that he was wearing his favorite red raincoats. Okay. In any case, he escorted me from the premises. And, being a very considerate boy, thought to erase both our footprints from the scene of the crime. It seems he had a little kerosene set aside in the igloo for just such an occasion. Okay, this innocent boy is not innocent at all. So he spread it liberally around the place and set himself a little fire. No way! So that's what the fire was for. It must have been ever so beautiful. Winter and Lagarde were positively enchanted. And while they were distracted by the show, he took the opportunity to usher me out of a side entrance. You never answered my question. You really think he's the one behind all this? I do indeed. Don't I, Helmet? Yes. Yes, I do. My unexpected savior, huh? Okay. Red Raincoat. Entering the fray. Probably... I'll keep going for now. Press. As you may have surmised, it was I who killed President Wang. You're pretty forthcoming with that particular admission. That is true. Statute of limitations. If I'm honest, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm tired of all the killing. But back then, I felt that death was my path. I embraced it and strove to learn what it had to teach. I had made my peace with that,
And I'm happy to admit it, aren't I, boy? Yes. Yes, I am.
I'm not sure what he's talking about, but I definitely don't like the sound of it. Basically, he thought nothing of murdering the president. And not only is he an assassin, he's now a prison escapee. Not someone to be trifled with. But we can't afford for him not to talk. I'll need to tread as carefully as I can. Very well, you killed the president, and you're happy to admit it.
Oh, very much so. I wouldn't want you thinking that I drew my blade and missed.
Alright, that's fine. He's proud of it, even.
But that meant I, too, became an inconvenience in need of removal.
You a target, but you're an assassin. Yeah. Sometimes the hunter must become the hunted. Sometimes the living must become the dead. I mean, it's both... I mean, if you were gonna murder someone through an assassin, I think trying to get rid of that assassin's kind of dumb, but I can also see it through the point of fear or whatever, or like trying to control the situation. Please, Kay, don't feel the need to add your own proverb of your own.
Impermanence is inherent to the way of the assassin. Life takers' lives are taken, so it goes.
Permanence is a good word. Oh, wait, does that mean the people you sent to kill sometimes try to kill you back, or you're yeah,
it happens occasionally, but it's not what happened this time.
Okay.
The imposter president, Winner, Lagarde, all three were keen to guarantee my signing.
Hold it!
But Mr. Canis, you're a professional killer, and a famously skilled one at that. Surely escaping even 3 attackers would have been little more than a minor inconvenience. Thank you, Edgeworth understands.
You overestimate me, Mr.
Oh, maybe Edgeworth doesn't understand.
You seem to forget that without helmet here, I couldn't even walk down the street. Against 3 assailants, I wouldn't have lasted more than a few moments.
I see. So even the most proficient assassins are ill-equipped to face a full frontal assault.
We're not hugely fond of such situations, shall we say. I certainly wouldn't have liked my chances.
Ah.
And if I hadn't met my friend, the young pup, again.
Hold it!
Again! Could be night, I guess? Again, so the 2 of you had met before.
Yes, on a cold and lonely...
Fucker. Fuck, bro. No! Ah, please. Oh, man, no way. Christmas Eve is very specific, and 18 years is very specific. Ah, no! Okay. That long ago.
But on that occasion, it was I who saved his life. It was snowing. More than it... Oh. It was snowing more than it had in years. And cold enough that death by freezing was a real possibility. I had taken Helmet out for a little walk. He noticed something and bounded off through the snow. When I caught up to him, he was sniffing at a car. The doors had frozen shut. It took all the strength I had, but eventually I managed to open it.
Okay, these are the kids from case... there's our connection to case 3, 18 years ago. These are the... Artie Frost car? Eh. Hmm. This is Carmelo Augusto's kid. Ah, you know what? Actually. Okay. Carmelo Augusto's kid never returned, and nobody else knows where he is. That's who the assassin became then? Got it.
And inside I found 2 young boys, shivering and semi-conscious.
2.
Yes, and had I found them even an hour later, the poor wretches would never have made it.
Yeah, it is indeed all connected.
I took them both to a nearby orphanage.
That is how they're tying. Well, I guess we're gonna meet the son rather soon, probably, huh? But my question is, why was one of the kid tied? Well, no, that's because that was Carmelo Augusto's kid, and Carmelo was it Artie Frost? Artie Frost. Their relationship or whatever, where I don't remember exactly how it played out, but they didn't like each other and their partnership fell out. Is it me, or is there something significant about what he just told us? There is. What is it about Canis' statement that was especially the number of people? The date or the number of people? I think the number of people, though. You're certain there were 2 children in that car?
It was a long time ago, but I remembered as clearly as if it were yesterday. There were 2 of them, no doubt about it.
I don't think we met the red raincoat person. No. I need to see the picture again. Maybe, but probably not.
Why do you ask me? Why do you ask, Mr. Prosecutor? Is there something significant in the number?
He's right. There isn't anything particularly important about what just said now.
Well, will that be all on the matter?
The date, then. The make of the car? I wonder what kind of car it was. This was on Christmas Eve, 18 years ago. You're certain of that?
I am.
Oh, holy smokes! Bender, we have something that shows why the date is so significant. Yep, we sure do. December 24th. Discovered in the mansion. Would both visit Tangaroa's mansion up through the day before the incident. Their whereabouts are unknown. Yep. Gotcha. It's just Carmelo Augusto is such a bad father that he didn't care. That was the same day on which a certain incident occurred. The murder of a well-known sculptor. No way! An incident in the aftermath of which 2 children went missing. The son of the victim, Artie Frost, and the son of the murderer, Carmelo Augusto. So that means it's probably this son. I don't know. Or I guess it could be either one. Yeah. Now that you mention it, the little guys did go AWOL, huh?
Intriguing. The son of a murderer and the son of his victim. I suppose that would make sense.
It would.
One of the boys was bound hand and foot, you see.
That must have been part of Mr. Frost's plan to stop Mr. Gusto's son from getting to the competition. Indeed, because without his son to taste his creations, Mr. Gusto would have had no chance of winning. That's right, that's what it was.
So that was what was all behind it all. Sadly, neither of the boys were able to remember any such details.
They weren't.
No. When we met each other again on that night 12 years ago, the young pup explained it to me. It seems that they were on the brink of death when I found them.
and the shock of the experience caused them both to lose their memories. Met each other on that night again. Met each other again on that night 12 years ago. So they met before that even. Wait. Right. Okay. The young pup. I think he was talking about the kid then. One of the kids. Gotcha.
They weren't even able to remember their names.
Ah. Wow. So they wouldn't have known they were Mr. Frost and Mr. Gusto's kids. If what he's telling us is the truth, that would seem likely, yes. Which means we still don't have enough to tell us who our mastermind might be. Mr. Canis, would you mind telling us what happened next?
By all means.
Ah, alright.
The pup and I remained in contact even after I was sent to prison.
So it probably is night.
But then I stopped hearing from him. I couldn't help but worry.
And then people... When do you get sent to prison?
And then people from 12 years ago started cropping up all over the place. It rather piqued my curiosity, so I thought I'd temporarily regain my freedom and look into things.
People from 12 years ago. You mean Lagarde, Winter, and the President, I assume? Well, Warden Lagarde was in charge of the prison, where he was an inmate this whole time, right?
I fear I wasn't as kind to her as I could have been. But then, she did try to have me killed. You already know why, of course.
Because you murdered President Wang, but they needed the world to believe that he was still alive. If somebody had exposed the president as a fake, it would have been bad for Lagarde and Chairman Winter, too. Yep, that's why he's so much freer.
Exactly. And not only that, I happened to overhear something else intriguing that night.
I'll be at the orphanage on the evening of the night. I'll be waiting in the front yard. You can meet him if you like. Even if it's only just this once. This is the message to... That was the message on the doll. Okay. Who are you? Sorry, but I'm waiting for someone.
I know you are, President Wang. I couldn't help overhearing the news. Congratulations. But please don't worry about your son. I only kill those I am employed to kill, which in this case means you.
No! Oh, wait, this is my first chance to meet him. And it might be my only chance. Please, give me just a few minutes longer.
Thought he was going to beg for his life, but no. An interesting character.
I told him, you just said congratulations, though.
I told him I was not aware that he had a child.
No, he said, and shook his head. Neither was I, but the world will know that I have one now. I mean to make sure of it. I've even prepared something in case the worst comes to worst. They had to keep the president alive. For some reason. Because of his will.
And the son in question, he was the young gentleman with the horns here, correct?
Horns? Oh, you can see them.
I don't need to, my dear. I've been listening very carefully, you see. And for longer than you may realize.
So the president meant to tell the world about Sean and prepared something in case of the worst. But it's not enough simply to have Canis's word on the matter.
Ah, of course.
We have something that proves what he's telling us the president said is true. The will. Well, everyone knew about. He entrusted it to my family to show his belief in us, after all. The name in the recording, the preparations he had made, and his will. Ha ha ha. With those 3 pieces of evidence, I was able to convince Warden the Guard to do anything I asked. With the information at his disposal, he could have exposed the truth about the body double at any time, and Sean's true identity with it. Now, President Wang was more agile than I thought, than I'd anticipated. He blocked my first knife thrust with something soft. By the time the piece I'd broken off hit the snow, my next strike had hit its mark. So was Canis, who tore the horn off of the Taurosaurus skull. I was the only one present to hear his final words. The only one who knew the truth about his son? Well, me and that poor pup. It sounds pretty accurate. Wait. What about Aldone? I'm oppressed him. The pup and I remained in contact even after I was sent to prison. So you were able to continue communicating with him from the prison? I was. Via post office box. What's that? Man, I want to see their correspondence chess match now again. It's a means of exchanging mail without revealing one's own address. I never knew where he was. I wasn't able to slip out and track him down. I was being kept under rather strict supervision, you see. By Warden the Guard, no doubt. What were you two even communicating about? We were playing correspondence chess, of course. That and gripping about our respective loss in life. Correspondence chess? But didn't you just say... Ah. It's like... you used to play with that. As unlikely as this may seem, Mr. Canis' chess opponent was. Okay, what next? Rook? No. This is how they communicated, yeah. Mr. Knight? Yeah, it was Mr. Knight. We found the diagram of the game in his cell, too. There we go. Oh, so does that mean Knight had something to do with the IS-7 business? Wait, could that be it? Do we have any evidence that might connect Knight to the IS-7 incident? What about... we do.
Take that!
That would have been an easy connection to make, and I didn't even make it. Fuck! This is everything Knight left behind. Could there be a clue in here somewhere? A ring and a chess set. Which one should we look more closely at? The ring. Yeah. The ring. What about it, Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Fender, take a closer look at it, if you would. That design! Oh, that's Paul Halle's trademark. Mark? Indeed, if it looks like somebody turned the stamp he used to sign his work into a ring. But why would Knight have been carrying it? And why was it not with the rest of the evidence from the IS-7 incident? Oh, they tried to release Frost's personal effects to his Mexican after the case wound down, huh? But if I remember rightly, old Frosty Boy didn't have any family aside from the kid. And with the kid missing, so they never got to hand it back to him. Not till later, anyhow. I heard on the grapevine that they found him in the end and gave him the goods, including the seal it would seem, which he turned into a ring and wore until his own death. Uh-huh. So we're saying Mr. Knight was Mr. Frost's son. The cops don't mess around with stuff like that. They wouldn't have made sure before handing it over. And we were looking for somebody connected to IS-7 incident who played correspondence chess, right? Wait, so our secret string puller is...
Bronco Knight.
Objection!
He's not dead. Fucker, dude. Knight is dead. How could he possibly be involved in our current case? Far out. So our only candidate for Genius Mastermind is a guy who already kicked the bucket, huh? That's impossible. How can a dead guy be behind all this? It is a little perplexing, but then who else could it be? Then I stopped hearing from him. I couldn't help but quit. He stopped responding. That seems strange. I'm glad you agree. Helmet did too, of course. That big scary mutt really said that? Like, woof woof, that's barking mad. He does not need to talk in order for me to hear him, my dear. Oh, he doesn't? Okay, well then, let me ask him something. That look he's giving me? That super intense, kind of scary look? He's not trying to say he's hungry, is he?
He might.
He might be? Mr. Edgeworth, help! Okay, he really isn't fond of Candace's pet, it seems.
Yes, that's a good boy. Now, where was I? Ah, of course. I suddenly stopped hearing from the pub. And then people from 12 years ago started cropping up all over the place.
It does all seem like a little too much of a coincidence, doesn't it? An attempt was made on the life of a man who was pretending to be President Wang all these years. Warden Lagarde murdered Bronco Knight while he was being held at the prison she ran. And Excelsius Winter, chairman of the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence, murdered Rosie Ringer. And the more I think back, the more it seemed, at the time, that some mysterious other presence was lurking behind all those incidents.
Yes, even from behind bars, it's rather obvious that something strange was going on. It rather piqued my curiosity, so I thought I'd temporarily regain.
You thought you temporarily regain your freedom? Could you have been any more brazen? Yeah, even a thief would struggle to get away with something like I thought I'd temporarily steal you.
Fear not. Nobody was injured in the course of my escape. It wasn't necessary, after all. I have my ways. Let's leave it at that, shall we?
Leave it at that? No way, pal. You escaped. I ought to arrest you right now.
There'll be no need for that, Detective. As soon as my business is concluded, I'll return home to my cell. Oh, are you serious? Prison isn't supposed to be some place you can just stroll in and out of when you please. Strange that you should say that. Weren't you the one who strolled in to try and dig into my past only recently? You.
Agent Wang, Detective Gumshoe. I need to be able to question Mr. Canis further. Could you both try to remain calm for now? Sure thing, sir. Kinda knew he was gonna say that.
Fine. But I'm not taking my eyes off a dogman. Not even for a second, you hear? I did so enjoy tapping out my little letters in Braille.
Hold it!
Ah. In Braille? That's how you wrote all of them.
That's right. I have the tools to do so in my cell.
Huh. So you have to use special tools. I never thought about it before, but I guess that makes sense. And what exactly did you write about, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, this and that. General chit-chat. And chess moves, of course.
He wrote the chess moves in Braille, too. That's interesting. I figured chess would play an important part. And, well, we haven't spoken chess since Bronco Knight, and, well, chess is back. Speaking of chess moves, how does that piece you carved yourself move, the dog? Perhaps we can talk about that later. For now, I'd like to know what happened when the letter stopped.
I sat in my cell and tried to imagine where he might have gone.
Okay, nope, I still don't get it. Who does he mean? Who's this puppy he keeps talking about? Who, indeed? It seems that not even Mr. Canis knows his true identity. So, we should focus on what we do know, that there was a connection between the two of them. I am particularly interested in how that connection was maintained. Do you have the what? We have this. The correspondence chest? Nope. God damn it. Heck no. This is going quite long too, by the way, so I'll probably finish up kind of soon. My unexpected savior. Look into things. The correspondence chest? Ah, wait. This is in Braille. Printed rather than... There we go. It was a letter. You said that you wrote all your letters in Braille. Is that correct? I don't mean to be rude, Mr. Prosecutor, but you do know about my condition, don't you? And that's odd, because the chest diagram we found in Knight's cell didn't contain any Braille at all. Really? But surely that's impossible. How so, exactly? It's not Knight. Maybe someone typed Mr. Canis' letters out on purpose. Meaning there may have been some sort of intermediary between the two of them. So then... Mr. Canis says he wrote his letter in Braille, and yet the letters received by Mr. Knight contain no Braille at all. This suggests that there must be a third party who typed Mr. Canis' letters out. Guess it could have worked the same way on the flip side too, huh? Whoever it was could have taken Knight's letters and turned them back into Braille. This is our mastermind then, yeah? They could indeed. The true mastermind. I think you and Mr. Knight were both communicating. You know what happened with one son, I think? We're both communicating with this person, Mr. Canis. Mr. Canis, the answers you received. They were written in Braille's too, yes. Oh, so some mysterious middle person really was retyping the Bronxer's missives. And that same person might well be our secret string puller. The other son. Oh wait, you're trying to say there's another hidden mastermind behind this whole thing? So who's this new one? Bronco Knight, son of Artie Frost, is already dead. But what if the other child from the incident 18 years ago was actually who we've been looking for? Carmelo Gusto's son? But who is he? And where is he? If Knight's was Frost's son, Gusto's son would have to be. I've known him since we were kids. When both of us were all alone. He doesn't have any family, you see, just like me. Yeah, but surely not. I think that was a memory from Bronco, but I don't remember. Of course, it all makes sense. What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? You're white as a sheet. Of course, it all makes sense. I know exactly who our so-called mastermind is. What? Who? You have to tell us. I can hardly believe it, but it's someone we really know. Oh, fuck, I don't know. How did that help? Both of us were all alone. All alone and no family. Who? Since we were kids. Could be. He's dead though, right? I don't actually know who it is. Fuck. It has to be him. If I was Frost the Sun, Gusto Sun would have to be. Known him since we were kids. Both of us were all alone. Doesn't have any family, you see, just like me. I want to say Bronco, but I don't think it's Bronco. It has to be a dude. I don't think it's him. I don't think we have. Is it Bronco? I'm gonna say Bronco. No way. There, the one behind all. That doesn't seem to fit at all. Yeah, I don't know the answer. That's why. The mastermind revealed. Of course it doesn't, because they're not, in fact, the one who revealed behind. What? What is that? I had to think about this more carefully. Night was Frost's son, which means Gusto's son would have to be. Right. I'm an idiot. I got it. My bad. Simeon Sane. Damn it, dude. Fuck.
Take that!
Has to be the person behind all of this. The person who forced Chairman Winter's hand by sending the letter to Rosie Ringer. The person who kidnapped Sean and bugged Kay and myself. The person who did the strangest thing of all. Who drugged Kay and carried her up to the roof of the big building. It was the monster. What? Did you really just say what I thought you did? Yes, the monster. That was the key to unmasking our mastermind. Oh, I almost forgot. We're doing a new show soon. I'd love if you could come, Mr. Edgeworth. Damn. I'll be joining Regina on stage for this one. That's right. The Very Big Circus is the biggest, most fabulous event in town. We'll have oodles of fun. Miss Lloyd, can I ask you a favor? Ooh, little old me. What kind of favor? You told us you recorded the sound of the Taurosaurus breathing fire. Proof? What kind of proof? Did you catch something on your tape recorder, perhaps? Ooh, you're good, Ruffles. Sharper than a gosh dang tack. I captured the sound of that big old beastie breathing fire when I capped, is what I captured. Sure did. Like I said, I didn't precisely see the guy. But boy, did I hear him. Can we listen to the tape? You surely can. Let's see now. Damn. That's it. That sounded. Talking? This must be what I think it is. My theory has to be correct. The truth about the monster, the identity of the person behind all this, it's all falling into place. Miss Hart, you saw a giant eye at the window of the storeroom, did you not? Yep, sure snapped me a picture of it, too. Even if you can't really see it so well. We can't see it right now, but... Detective Gumshoe, yes sir! Your image analyzer, can we borrow it again? Sure, but what do you want to look at, sir? This photograph right here. Gotcha, I'm on it. Hey. Just have to find it. Well, it's obviously that one, but I'm assuming everywhere else first. Nope. Nope. Oh. Yep. Present.
Eureka!
Was handy. Damn. That's. See, I done told y'all. Taurosaurus has his own dang self. Yes. There it is at last. The monster commanded by the architect of this whole scheme. Monster? Monster? Monster! Wow. Oh, finally ready to admit it. That he dang well real. The big bad bull himself.
Objection!
No, because that isn't Taurosaurus at all. It's the eye of a different giant beast entirely. Take a look at this, if you would. Ah, yep. The very big circus flyer. Oh, wait, look. You see it, the enormous lion balloon. That's the real monster. Ah. I called out the balloon. That's so lame. And the sound Miss Lloyd thought was the creature breathing fire. I should have thought about the hot air balloon. God damn it. Ah, come on. You're really gonna bring me crashing down to Earth like that? That's how balloons fly, huh? They burn gas to make hot air. They do, and our culprit was able to use that balloon to carry Kay up to the roof of the big building without ever going near the elevator. So this culprit, they've got something to do with the circus. Oh, circus worker, friend of Bronxter's, son of Gusto. Whoa. You're not serious, are you? You forgot to mention trainee animal tamer. It's hard to believe. It's him, bro? Alright, you got me. I was not thinking him at all. But he's the one who's been pulling the strings this whole time. That's right. Simeon Saint is the one behind all this. Simeon? But everything. Really? I don't believe you. We trusted him, and he trusted us. You can't tell me that was all lies. That would be too horrible. I'm sorry, Kay. Who was that? Hey, where do you think you're going, old man? Nothing escapes you, does it, young pup? My congratulations, Mr. Edgeworth. But now that I know the truth, my business here is done. What? No. Mr. Canis, wait! Damn! Attacked by the doggo.
Damn it, he disappeared!
Are you okay, Mr. Edgeworth? Don't worry, I'm fine. But... damn you. Are you alright, Sean? You killed my dad. You did, right? There's no easy way to say it, but... sorry, Sean. I would appear that he did. He won't get away with it. I'll make him pay. Somehow, someway, I'll...
Overruled.
Thank you, Gabelle. No, Sean. You mustn't say such things. I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. You'll have to forgive us both. I just put the call out, sir. All units are on the lookout for Mr. Canis.
I don't mean to hurry, everyone, but we'd better be on our way, too. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, where do you think we'll find our mastermind?
I suppose you're right. We should go after the mastermind right away. He said he had to practice for the show, which I guess means he'll be at the circus. But before we leave, there's something I'd like to ask of you, Agent Lang.
There is. What?
Once a beast has been sighted, the next step is to plan its capture. When we arrive, there's something we'll need to try and find as a matter of priority. And, Detective, I'd like you to look into something that's been bothering me about Sean's kidnapping. Yes, sir. I want to help too, Mr. Edgeworth. Good. There's somebody I'd like you to try and contact. If Saint really is our mastermind, you're going to need this person's help. Huh? between our many encounters, I never suspected a thing, even though he was right there in front of me. I mess up. There's no other way of putting it, but I'm going to put things right once and for all. Yeah. Damn. That was a mastermind shit. They got me. They got me good. They got me good. I mean, we weren't ever really looking for the mastermind, so not entirely my fault. The balloon, missing the balloon's usage was on me. I'll give you that much. Yeah. I think it's kind of crazy that they actually use the balloon, though. Damn, Simeon Saint, huh? I should have, well, this is a bit of a problem with me playing these, like, so slowly. I forget some things, like them being friends and whatnot. And, yeah, okay. And also the ring, the Paul Halik ring, that I think I called out was part of Night's Set originally, but then I forgot that it was part of Night's Set when I was solving the case. So, you know. But we're hitting ladder now. I was going to try and finish tomorrow, but I think it's going to be on Monday. Monday, we're going to finish this off for sure. Like, even if it takes me like 4 or 5 hours. So, starting on at 3 p.m. Monday, I'll be back for more Ace Attorney, and we'll finish this off. And finish off Investigations 2. Finally, after, what, like 100 hours or something like that? We're getting to the end of it. All right? I'm Azrren. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you on Monday, 3 p.m. PST. Have a good one. Peace.